Oh, you're a rapist? Hero, dude. How many monkeys you got in the back? How many you got? Okay, so Lucifer is talking right now? More than 5 million monkeys. How many monkeys did he rape? More than 5 million? How many clones he got? more more than 5 billion? That's what you fucking get for being a fucking rapist, dude. Hera Duck. It's a shit life to fucking have, dude. Being a rapist is a fucking shit ass fucking life. It's a shit ass fucking life, dude. I'm not jealous of that. I want none of that. A raw duck ass fucking life. Walking around with shit ass fucking eyebrows, dude. That shit's a fucking meme on the fucking internet. Your rapist ass eyebrows is a fucking meme on the fucking internet, dude. Everybody's hating on that fucking shit. Everybody hate that fucking shit. The funny part is not the fact that your rapist ass eyebrows are fucking ugly. It's the fact that we can all agree that we fucking hate you. And that's the funniest fucking part. About the fucking joke. The meme. Oh, I see what you're saying. Lucifer is saying that the reason why we don't call it a joke on the internet is because a meme is a type of style, a style of jokes on the internet, and it's just called a meme. You're a rapist? This is a shit ass life to fucking have, dude. Fucking kids you don't want to fucking take care of and shit like that. It's a shit ass fucking life. Wanting to go to the fucking party, but no one gonna fucking invite you because you won't feed your damn kids, dude. Everybody know about him. Still not giving a fuck, dude. Shit ass fucking life, dude. Shit ass fucking life. He's gonna pop babies and act like that shit's fucking fun. Looking at a Thuilum baby, dude. It's a shit ass fucking life to have. I don't even like looking at babies that fucking much. I don't. Especially a newborn baby, dude. That shit's fucking creepy. Yeah, cause the gods, they were talking to me and they were saying like, yeah, I don't like looking at babies because like, especially earthling babies, because they come from like a circle of life, like rapist type of life, and like babies are just super evil, super evil to come out of someone's body like that, to leech and eat someone's bodily nutrients for and live in their body for a really long time, like a parasite kicking your mommy and daddy body from the in fucking side, because male pregnancy is real too, and then coming out of like your parents' body like that, apparently popping the head out first and then the rest of your body though. Super fucking creepy. Super fucking creepy. And then they told me, the gods, they told me like a the reason why a baby is the symbol of evil, especially on earth, like, you know, like a bunch of like horror movies. There's like a bunch of like babies laughing behind the fucking scene, a bunch of baby toys playing in the fucking background and shit like that. It's because babies are actually fucking evil. Like old people, they're also fucking evil. So babies are fucking evil, and then old people are also fucking evil. Like, you know how like you would clean up the house and then some old ass bitch would walk into the house and they won't notice the shit that you fucking did. The shit that you cleaned up, the shit that you made nice, and the only thing that they ever fucking noticed was the shit you did not fucking do. Oh, you didn't clean that though. What about this right here? And so what do you want me to do? Be happy about you? Be proud that you did some shit right here when you really fucking didn't? You're fucking lazy. You don't like shit like that. Like just an old person. Like you literally got all your chores done, homework done, all your work done. You might have a little bit of money in your savings. And then all of a sudden your grandma's gonna walk into your house. And the only thing she noticed how lazy you fucking are. And the piece of shit that you couldn't get to finish cleaning because she walked in on you on time. Like old people are built on treating people badly like that. I don't remember what the other type of like, oh, have you ever noticed like old people this and old people that, like OG sans? OG sans are super fucking evil. Evil old people who are trying to pretend like, oh, you know, he's just a laughable old OG son who was capable of living up to a good amount of number of years in his life. And he's just laughing all to himself. And everyone is hating on him and super mad at him and angry at him because they don't understand him. And they haven't grown up to be old like him, so they haven't learned life's lessons like that. When that guy was a disgusting pervert rapist in the fucking back, and no one liked him because he was a fucking rapist and shit like that, and he was fucking ugly with a terrible ass personality, who try to act like he know how to laugh like God's fucking children and shit like that, when in reality he's some old ass bitch that's gonna go back to hell where he fucking belong. Like an old ass OG son, an old ass grandpa, you know? Shit like that. That guy was hella fucking maddening. I'm sure you got some man standing outside your house, inside your house too, saying shit that's gonna make you hella fucking mad. And he will not fucking leave. Shit like that. Yeah. So like God from like heavenly people just hate old people. Like they're just saying like, first of all, the personality already really sucks. Like for someone to just you know, clean up their house, like I'm finally going to get my life together and clean up the house, get paid at work, you know, do this and that, you know, and then clean up the house. And then there's always going to be some old ass bitch who's going to walk into your house and start complaining about the shit you didn't fucking do. And then call you lazy. But not only that, a whole bunch of other old people are about to come by. And we're talking about more than 5. It have to be more than 5 old people that are gonna come over and say some bullshit like, see, I told you, young people are fucking lazy. Young people are just gonna be like that. They're just gonna be fucking lazy. Look at that shit that they did not fucking do. They didn't clean that shit up. Oh, you cleaned that? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I did that shit. I did that shit. No, you did not. I did that. And that piece of shit over there that you did not clean, that's what you did not do because you're lazy. Shit like that. Like old people would just do shit like that. You know what though? Like my grandma was so fucking old and she would just do shit like that like all the fucking time. She was just like that all the fucking time and I hated my grandma, dude, because she used to hit me all the fucking time. She used to hit me a lot. She would like spit on my face and everything. And then I would be the only person at home who would take care of the house too. Like I would clean. I wasn't even like asking for that much credit. I just did it. I just did it. And then everyone hated on me the fucking most. Because evil people are the opposite of good people. And so in a way, they kind of have this reaction to their opposite where we just don't get along. Where, well, if I'm evil, then I just hate people doing good, acting good in front of my fucking face. So we're gonna have to fucking fight. If that makes sense. Not all evil people are like that, but on Earth, it is generally an earthling type of personality. You hate God. You think that heaven is racist. Shit like that. God is the most evil racist person that you've ever met, and you hate God the most. Because you're the opposite of heaven and you are evil. So you do evil shit all the time and you talk shit about God all the fucking time. Saying God's name in vain is kind of like an earth thing. Like, you guys just do that a lot. You guys just talk about how much you hate God more than anything, and that's like a huge like earthling type of personality. You hate Jean-Claude Van Damme. You hate Aaron Carter. You hate Eren Yeager. You hate Naruto. Stupid, 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 stupid Naruto. Trump is racist. Shit like that. Sakura's a fucking rapist ass fucking bitch. Cho, you're not that much fucking better. You're a fucking itch. A fucking itch. Shit like that. Hit different. Hit Dylan. Jesus Christ died on the fucking cross in Dylan Farrell's fucking image. Yeah, so anyways, old people, dude. God hates old people. God hates old people a lot. Personality wise, is already really bad. Does not like the personality that much. And he hates looking at old people. Like Cloud just complains about that secretly. Like, he does not do it too much because he doesn't want to cause like a type of discrimination or a type of like race war between young people and old people, even though old people were kind of already doing that. Oh, I hate young people. I hate young people. They're fucking lazy. They're not like hardworking like us old folk. When old people were hella fucking lazy, dude. And young people can be lazy too. But old people do go around saying shit like, oh, young people are so lazy. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. I did that. You know, like shit like that. Hella fucking rude. So God already hates that type of personality, and he just does not want to cause a discrimination, but Cloud and Alex and Lucifer were kind of talking about how God, so Cloud He hates looking at old people. Like, he hates it. He hates the wrinkliness. He hates seeing people's body deteriorate due to due to the passing years, and due to like just time, just watching time deteriorate your body. And then that is a type of evil, you know. In the wholesome goodness, the passing of years, you should be able to stay young and healthy and strong, and live a good happy life, and to stay beautiful. And you should be able to stay beautiful with the passing of time, and to be able to look back on time. And even though that was many, many years ago, that's still exactly who you are. And that's a much better type of lifestyle in God's opinion. Whereas old people, okay, so there are different types of old people. There are old people that are just born old. There are people that are born into existence that are like old and wrinkly and crippled and that can still walk, but need like walking canes to walk. They're just born that way. Since day one, they were already like 135 years old. Wrinkly, white hair, fucking liver spots on their face and shit like that. With the I hate young people personality. Like, some people apparently are born like that in a multitude of ways. You can be born from someone's body through sex. Right? I know it sounds super fucking weird, but this is highly censored information. Like, you could have sex with someone and then give birth to a baby, and instead of giving birth to a baby, you give birth to a 135-year-old person. Apparently that's possible. And in a way, it does make sense to me, because that person, that's just who that person is. It's like that sperm in your body that turned out to be a human being, that was going to grow up to be a human being, was never going to be a baby. It was just going to be a 135-year-old person. And sperm are evil, dude. Those things are like not even human beings. So sperm, when you have sex, sperm is a type of parasite that can transmorph into a human being. So it's a shapeshifter. So like a sperm is like a type of booger that can shapeshift, if that makes sense. And it can turn into anything it wants. And although most sperm, like not all sperm or sperm dominant creatures, because some sperm actually just transform itself into a human being, knowing full well that it wants to be a sperm as a dominant personality trait of itself, and it's just pretending to be a human being. And then sometimes, like, as a sperm who's pretending to be a human being, like, it wants to crawl back into your fucking body, especially if you gave birth to it, and then just live as a human being, shaped sperm in your body for the rest of your life, just to be a parasite and just be fucking evil about that shit. It's just fucking evil. Sometimes that sperm will just transform back into a sperm and then just crawl back into your body, just to force you to give birth to it again, just to be evil to you as a sperm. But sometimes some of those sperm are actually human dominant beings waiting to become a human being. So anyways, sometimes, yeah, so old people can be given birth to as just a 135-year-old baby. You know, the first day they're on earth, they were just already 135 years old. But sometimes Some things just naturally exist on their own. Some things just naturally exist on their own. And this part is a bit more difficult for me to understand. But someone who's just old and has wrinkles and has a terrible personality that hates young people, it just exists. It's just there. So it exists. And so no one ever gave birth to it. And it poof into existence because that is just what it is. Stuff like that. I don't understand that part too well. A bit more confusing, but that's how it is. But babies are super fucking evil, dude. Super fucking evil. That's why like horror movies always portray babies and children as extremely evil things, and people go, why do they keep doing that to babies? Like aren't babies like innocent because they don't know much. They're born with a blank mind and you have to raise it to be good. So why do they keep on portraying babies in horror movies? Because that baby was born from blood and pain and possible death of its host, the mother or the father. Like that baby was born from blood. That's why like a lot of horror movies and even video games like portray like babies as super fucking evil. And it's not true that these babies are born with a blank mind. Yes, some of them are, but some of these babies are born knowing that the only thing they ever wanted to be was fucking evil. That baby is of this world. That baby wanted to rip a hole in your body in order to be born. That baby wanted to be a parasite to your body, and you are the host. Like that baby wanted to be born like that. That baby chose to be born like that in this world. That is exactly who that baby wanted to be. And that is never explained to most people because I don't know why, but I guess it's because there are babies who are born with like a blank mind. And so we kind of protect those babies a bit. Just to not go, oh, that baby's fucking evil. I'm a man child. I hate babies. That shit's fucking evil. That shit creep me out. You know what I mean? And just to hate on fucking kids like that, like they already are at fucking school as a fucking skank in the LGBT fucking team. LSBT fucking team, dude. Hella fucking evil. Hella fucking evil. Hella fucking evil about children, okay? Let the kids be kids, but they won't. And what's happening is that the baby, there are definitely two different types of babies. But yeah, so there are babies who are born not really thinking much, not really knowing much, but genetically made to be evil anyways. And they don't know much, but also that there are babies who never wanted to be born like that, but are accidentally born into this world through that type of like creationism. So some babies intentionally are born into this world wanting to be that way. But there are other babies who are born in this world who never wanted to be alive, but are born into this world anyways in a way that they never wanted to be born into this world in that style. Never wanted it to happen. And both of them are evil. Both of them are evil. Super fucking evil. Super disgusting to be born like that. And if God saves you, so let's say that God thinks that you are someone that he can save, right? So let's say that you are someone who potentially has a better personality than those people, and you never wanted to be born like that, and you have the personality trait that God likes enough to save you from that lifestyle, then there's a pretty good chance that you were born into existence through just the proof of magic, just to be exactly who you are, and God saves you from being created instead of, instead of being created through sex and birth, that you were lucky enough to be born through magic. Like, I guess because one time there's a question that went around, and the question was, do you guys remember your life, like when you were in the womb? And that got me thinking, well, did I don't remember, to be honest with you guys. Myself, no, I don't remember my life in the womb. I just woke up one day in a house. I just woke up one day in a house, in an empty house, and I just wondered where everyone was. Just, hey, where's everyone? And then that was it. And for me, my earliest memory of the day I was born was I was in a house. I was in a house when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I was looking around. I was like, hey, where are all the princess? I can't find them. The Disney princess, I can't find them. And then the Disney princess told me telepathically, we miss you so much. I can't wait to see you again. It's going to be a really long time until we can see you again. I miss you so much. I love you so much. And then I said, where are you guys? I can't see you. I can only hear you. In my head, like, but I can't find you. And then they said, don't worry, we'll always be here for you. We'll come back for you. We just love Cho so much. We just love Cho. Okay, so Cho, like, I know this is hard for you to believe, but anime is real. Cartoons is real. There's a whole nother planet. There's a whole nother world where everyone just lives as anime characters and cartoon characters. Okay? So we'll see you again over there. But we miss you so much. We just love you so much. And then I said, oh, okay. And then they said, we gotta go. Bye, Cho. And then that was the last time that I ever talked to the Disney princess. And I was thinking, what? Is that true? A world where everyone just lives as cartoon characters and Disney princess and anime characters and stuff like that? That's weird. I don't believe it. I don't think that's true. There's no way that's real. I don't believe it. Who are those people again? Why did they talk to me? Oh yeah, they're the Disney princess. I just don't know why they talk to me. I don't know why they say that they miss me and they love me. But I really like the Disney princess a lot. And that was pretty much like my first day on Earth. Pretty much. Like I was not even like a year of my life on Earth yet. Like, I was like in the world 3 or 4 years old. I might have started watching Disney movies at a really young age. Not even a year yet. I was watching Mickey Mouse. Like those like super like old ones, like the trumpet, like the 90s trumpets, like saxophone, like instruments, like piano type of like xylophone type of like Disney, like super old school, like 50s style Disney, and 50, 90 style Disney. And that's my life. So when they were asking me, Cho, do you remember like the day you were born on Earth? No, I only remember one day waking up in a house and talking to the Disney princess telepathically, but that was me. And then Alex told me, see, Cho, you're lucky. You're lucky that's how you got born. You were just one day magically created, and all of a sudden you already have your own house. And you were lucky enough to have Disney princess be your best friends. And of course anime characters. So anime characters were your best friends, and the Disney princess. And some cartoon characters. Like, a lot of people don't get to have that because they are not from our family. And we are the most popular family in the world as anime characters. And to just to be born in a American style White House. You know, I'm talking about like these walls, like just even this, it's still pretty good, you know? Because some people, when they're born through a rapist type of lifestyle. It's super fucking disgusting. A rapist type of lifestyle where you have sex, where your parents had sex, and you were just a sperm and an egg in someone else's fucking body, who just came together one day through a grand scream of an accident. Just a cosmic accident. It just happened. Your mom wanted to have sex and your dad wanted to have sex. That's so fucking disgusting for the beginning of all time to fucking happen for you. And then they had sex. Both of them probably did not like it. It was going to probably hurt the both of them. It was going to fucking hurt. But the both of them wanted a new baby because they were looking for a new holograph, a new clone. That's what they were really after, a new clone to live a better life. Better genetics, better looks, better hair, smarter, hopefully, right? So they both had sex because they were not smart originally on Earth. Earthlings are not that smart, so they were already not going to have sex. I mean, they were already trying to have sex, become smarter. Not the best move, okay? So you or these people, but I'll just say you, okay, just were born from sex, and then one day now you might be a sperm or an egg in someone's fucking womb, or your dad's fucking butthole, or even your mom's fucking butthole, like as a sperm who decided to finally conceive itself and start to morph itself into a human being, right? And give birth to itself, okay? And so that question was going around. And while I was at school, there was a kid someone asked, because that question was going around, hey, do you guys remember the day you guys were born? And then my friend said, oh no, I don't remember the day I was born. I think my earliest memory of being born was like when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And then Alex said, do you remember her, Cho? Yeah, so that girl, she was really born into this world when she was 7 or 8 years old through magic. And so that is why she does not have memories beforehand. And that was actually just the day she was born. And she just walked around being able to talk, understanding everything, and did not have to have much understanding because God already gave her language downloaded into her soul, so she understood language already at 7 or 8 years old. And she probably was born in a house. Now, that's not something that she specified, but her earliest memory was all of a sudden she was in a house and she had a family that was nice to her and really cared about her. And then that was it. And then there was a Mexican boy in the back. And he tried to be super funny about it. But hold on, okay? And then he was like, oh, I remember the day I was born. I even remember my life in my mom's womb. And then he tried to make it funny. So I guess some people laughed because he wanted to be funny. Because he was trying to act smart, because apparently there was like a scientific study that was going around, and it was saying things like, if you remember your life in your mom's womb, you are smarter than most other people because you have better memory than most people and you remember that far back. And that's what they were saying in the scientific studies. And that if you don't remember your life beforehand, especially the day that you were born, then you are less likely to be smart because you don't have memory that is that good. But Alex was saying that Mexican kid is super fucking disgusting and super fucking dirty because he's a fucking rapist who remembers his life in his mom's womb. And that's why he's an illegal immigrant, and that's why it is illegal for him to be in America, because first of all, his body was swimming. It was swimming in boogers and pus, like a type of bodily fluid that is super fucking dirty, made by earthly bodies. And on top of which, that kid was once a parasite who probably chose to kick his mommy or daddy fucking body while he was living from the inside. Like, he did not want to be a good kid. And for him to remember the day that he came out of someone's fucking vagina or someone's dick or butthole, which is possible, but never explained, right? Propaganda, guys. They were lying. This is real. You can be born from someone's butthole. You can be born from someone's dick hole. And not just the vagina. So Alex was explaining to me that people of that sort are illegal in America, and you're not allowed to be here because you wanted to be born like that more than anything. And even if it was an accident and you did not want to be born like that you are still not allowed to be in America, because American people are born in a different way. Okay, in a different way. Whether you believe in magic or not does not change the fact that American people are born differently. And so I started talking to my classmate again after he said that. I was like, yeah, well, for me, I remember when I was born like, I don't remember the day I was born, but I was just like 3 or 4 years old. And then I was like in a bedroom. And I just remember talking to like some cartoon characters, but that was about it. And then my friend, Jonalyn's cousin, she was saying, yeah, well, for me, I remember I don't remember my life before 7 or 8 years old, but around 7 or 8 years old, that's when I started remembering my life. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay. And then that was it. And she was really nice to me. But she was the only person that I talked to in class at the time about that. And I think that us three were the only people that said something. Oh, yeah. And then there was like a white guy who said something. He was really funny and he was really cute, but I don't remember what he said. But it was like the four of us, and there might be a couple of more comments, but the four of us is who I remember the most when we talked about this in history class. But to be born from a rapist fucking body, it just fucking sucks. And someone like that, you could be born in someone's fucking car on the way to a fucking bar. It means you were born homeless. You could be born you can be born in the middle of a fucking wild, in the middle of a fucking desert. You could be born in the middle of a fucking desert trying to immigrate to someone else's fucking country, not necessarily for a better life, but to live your life as a fucking criminal that you always wanted to be, a criminal at large. Sometimes some people just want to live. They just want to live just to kill you. They just want to kill you so badly. All they need is kill. They just want to live just to do that more than anything. Sometimes a bug will live on a fish's fucking tongue for his whole entire life just to fucking live there. Just to hurt that fucking fish for no fucking other reason than that's how it wanted to fucking live. Just to be fucking annoying. And that's it. Do you understand? Super fucking evil. But that shit's just fucking real. It just exists on its fucking own. That parasite, the Exigua, super fucking evil, dude. It was so fucking evil for that thing to eat that fish's tongue. And then just to pretend to be his tongue on his bone no matter fucking what. That guy was hella fucking evil. And that thing wanted to fucking live, dude. It wanted to stay alive just to do that shit. Super fucking evil. And so God is sending both the fish and that parasite to fucking hell. God did not protect that fish because that fish was super fucking evil. Because that fish was just swimming around, just eating shit alive all fucking day. Just wanted to eat shit alive and to pollute God's waters. That fish wanted to live on God's land. And it wanted to poop and pee in his waters. And it wanted to just swim around and like just start eating random shit that just move. And even shit that don't move. It just wanted to, but especially just eat flesh and torture people through meat eating, right? So through carnivore and flesh eating. I guess the term is kind of weird, but most people are more used to hear meat eating, right? But meat is actually a vegetable. So meat, you guys should already know. So M spells V. And then the E in meat is the veg, right? And then they skip out the G part to make a secret codon for God. And then the at part is the vegetables. It's the veg at, right? The vegetables, right? So meat is actually secretly a type of vegetable that they were trying to make seem like fleshy or whatever. But anyway, so fish, they were super evil to God. And they just wanted to live on his land just to poop on his fucking water. In his fucking lake. In his fucking ocean. And then they just wanted to eat shit alive and then just telepathically talk to people all fucking day. Talking about how in reality he's a fucking booger and he's gonna come to your house and fucking rape you as a fucking fish. So, In reality, yeah, so that thing is listening to me talk, dude. It's a fire alarm, but all fire alarms secretly have like intel tech companies that like pay attention and like that thing was laughing, that like watch over people's houses for safety and stuff like that, especially if you're an American. But so I'm fine with it cuz like that's my family, dude. That's the homie right there. But it was like flashing a red beeping light. But yeah, so that fish is going to go to hell for being a parasite and a leech in God's land. But that parasite, just like that parasite is a bit more one of those explanations where it's just easier for people to understand, where it's like that guy actually just really wanted to fucking live as a fucking parasite. He actually chose, like, he actively chose to live on that fucking fish's body for the rest of his life. He just said, oh, okay, the mouth is perfect to do that. And then a bunch of other parasites started doing that. But then there's also other parasites where, like, I've seen in a documentary Under the Sea, like the ocean ones, where like there was like a fish who just bite onto some other fish body, and then he just hardened, and then he just lived on that guy's body for the rest of their life as a fucking parasite. And it never fucking leave, and it just chose to do that. So those guys, God is just gonna send to fucking hell, and they're just gonna have to live there forever. Just to be tortured by evil and by God's wrath. But they want to live on human bodies like that as well. So God is going to send them to hell. But that human beings that are born through sex and birth are the same thing. So in reality, earthlings, as described by the gods, is that earthlings are actually human parasites. Earthlings are actually human parasites, and that God hates your flesh and that he thinks it's dirty. So what's happening is that it is illegal for you guys to be on our land, and it's illegal for you guys to try to interact with us or to talk to us at all, because no one from heaven likes seeing that. It's super fucking disgusting to be born in that way. So, but at the very least, God and the kingdom of heaven is really nice, and God does offer forgiveness for your trespasses and for your evils, as long as you choose to turn away from evil. And if you're just evil and that's just kind of who you are, you can just say, like, maybe I am just a murderer, and that's just who I want to be. That's just who I am. Like, I'm actually just a murderer by the end of the day. But the truth is that God is a really good friend to me. And he gave me a lot of really nice things that made me happy. God told me a joke and I laughed. And you know what? Maybe at one life I was wrong about God. Maybe I misunderstood God and I thought that he was not going to be a good friend to me no matter what, because I thought he was racist and I thought God was a slave owner. But the truth is that God is a really good friend to me, even though I am a murderer. And the truth is that I just want to be a good friend to God in return. Because that is the best that life has to offer, and that God can save you, because God is just really powerful and really smart, and he knows how to save you in a multitude of ways, and that you can still choose to be a murderer, but that because you chose to be God's friend, and especially to not hurt innocent people, but to be a murderer amongst other evil people, that God did choose to save you. So God is offering you guys 100 years, 100 years to make up your mind. Do you want to go to heaven, or do you want to go to hell? And that's the truth. So those are the two most important choices that you have to make in life. There are only two paths in life: heaven or hell. To live amongst good, or to live amongst evil. And that's just simply it. There is no in between. And the reason why there is no in between is because good does not want to live with evil. And that is why there is no in between. Good people do not want to live with evil people. So vegetarians do not want to live amongst meat eaters. But meat eaters want to live amongst vegetarians. And so, for that reason, there are only two paths in life: the path to vegetarianism, or the path to a meat-eating life. The path to heaven, or the path to hell. And so God is offering that as an option to a lot of people. But if you are Mexican, you will never be forgiven. All Mexicans go to hell. All Mexicans go to hell. That's actually a very popular that is a Disney quote. That is a Kingdom Hearts quote. So there's a quote, and it's highly censored. It's a highly censored Disney movie. I think it's like the Adventures of Oliver the dog, or the title is All Dogs Go to Heaven. All dogs go to heaven. What that means is that no dog is gonna go to hell. You will never see a dog, a cat, or a rabbit in hell. No cows in hell. And no bulls either. So God's animals will not go to hell. All dogs go to heaven. So a cow is a dog, and a cat is actually a type of dog. So you know how a wolf is a dog, and a fox is a dog? A cat is a dog too. A cow is a dog. Okay? And a bull is a type of dog. A deer is a type of dog. Okay? So all dogs go to heaven. And in that movie, a lot of dogs got into a fight with a bunch of Mexicans. There was just a bunch of Mexicans that were trying to kidnap dogs and then put them in jail. I think that was a part of the movie. I only watched it once. And so what happened is that what that also means is that all Mexicans go to hell. Does that make sense? All dogs go to heaven, and all Mexicans go to hell. And so just to let you guys know, if you're Mexican, you will have to go to hell no matter what. And you will have to go back to Mexico no matter what. Because God hates you guys the most. But for the other people, you do have a chance to be forgiven. You know? And just to think about it, while you have the time. But I do believe that the time is coming soon, like Easter. Easter is in about, like, what month is this? January, February, March, April. In about 4 months, maybe 3 months. It's like 3, 4 months away, guys. Easter is coming soon. I was always thinking, I think Jesus is going to come back around Easter time. It could be around Christmas time, because both of them are Catholic holidays. But it could be randomized. It could be any moment now. Any moment at now. The rapture can begin. The end of the world can happen soon. And the 100 Years War is going to come to a close. But yeah, guys, so Easter's coming soon. Who knows? They're not telling me anything. Everything is a secret. But anyways, guys, life on Earth sucks. Being born in that way, whether you wanted to or not, even if you wanted to be born like that, from sex, that shit fucking sucks. Like, and to be a rapist, I'm not jealous of that. That's a shit ass life to fucking have. In fact, the life of the rapist is one of the poorest lives that you can ever choose to have on earth. Especially because the price of sex you pay for by giving birth to a baby that you don't fucking want. And you know, there's a bunch of these guys at our school that we never wanted around. Chinese, Laos guys, Mongolian guys that just kept coming around, and they kept saying, "Oh, I love sex. Do you like sex, Jenny? James, Cho, do you like sex? I love sex." Calvin, can you, like, stop talking about sex? Oh, come on. I just really like sex. Did you know if you have sex, it makes your skin better? Because cum is really good for your skin. Shit like that. And, like, so I'm going to tell you guys another story about that. So there's this guy at our school, and my friends keep complaining about it. Dylan gets really fucking mad about Calvin. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Alex, Lucifer, Linda, James, Jenny, Vaughn, Minxie, like my siblings, my brothers and sisters get really mad when it comes to Calvin. So my sister, the undercover cop who's pretending to be the bad guy, like, she did me a fucking solid with that guy, dude. Like, I know it seems like my sister fucking hates me more than anything, and I hate her too, because that shit was fucking disgusting. Trying to be all earthly in front of my fucking face and shit as a sister. But she turned him away from me, dude. I was so fucking annoyed with that guy. But we'll get back to that in a little bit. So what's happening is that, so that guy, should I say his name? Should I? Yeah, because they want to expose him. They want to expose him, and they want me to explain. So there's this guy who used to hang out with me and my friends named Calvin, and he stole that name Calvin from some guy at my church school. And the reason why is because I was like, oh my god, that Calvin guy at church is so cute. That guy is really cute, dude. And now that I think about it, he kind of looks like Darren Dow. He's like another version of Darren Dow named Calvin, and he was really cute. And he really only came by our school for like a couple of days. So he came for about like 5 weeks, and then he left. He just went back to heaven, and he did not come back to earth because there was so much drama about you guys. You Vietnamese people can't keep having cute guys at your fucking church. Annoying. You have to leave. Either you're Japanese or Chinese, or you're or else. And so he just went back to heaven. He never came back. But he kind of looks like Darren Dow. He kind of looks like Jay The South Korean guy? Jay Park. He kind of looks like him. A mixture of those two guys. So anyway, so that Calvin guy was really cute. And some guy from Laos, he's Laotian, and he heard of like some guy named Calvin. So he took on that name and he came to our school to stalk some celebrity through time travel, and that was Dark Pastel. So he came by to our school and he kept talking about sex, and he was, so my best friend James, he was just really funny. He would just tell like really funny jokes. He would just tell me really funny jokes, like that were like non-sexual. They were just like good kid jokes, and I don't remember what he was saying because he didn't get to talk to me too much because there was a war between the Asian kids and the Mexican kids about my celebrity status. So he only came around to talk to me a little bit every once in a while, but he would just tell me ridiculously funny jokes that I'm still laughing about like 10 years later. Okay? So he was super funny. Super funny. And so what happened is that James Toe was one of my best friends who was a guy, who was a boy. And he was always inviting me to hang out with the Asian kids at our school, with the other Vietnamese kids at our school, Chinese, Vietnamese kids. He was Vietnamese, forced to call himself Chinese. So pretty much Vietnamese kids. So James Toe was always inviting me to hang out with the other Vietnamese kids and the South Korean kids at our school. Come on, Joe, you should come hang out with us. Really? Can I go? Yeah, you can. My dad's really mean, though. I don't think he's gonna like you. Yeah, but you're my friend, Joe, so you should come by and we should hang out. Because we're friends. Okay, well, if you're okay with a kid like me and such a disgusting ass dad as him, so fucking disgusting and filled with so much hatred and lies. But if you guys want me as a friend, then Cheryl, come by because I want to meet some nice people. Come on, let's go. And then we would hang out. And it was nice of them to do that, to pull me out of hell like that, and to be my friend. And especially to be as nice as they were, and as funny and smart as they were. Like, they were always outsmarting everyone. Like, they would outsmart everyone in front of my face in the most funny way, you know? And then I was like, dude, how did you know that, James? Jenny, like, how did you know that? You guys were so smart. Like, you literally outsmarted everyone. Dude, and it was so freaking funny. It was so freaking funny in, like, the funniest way. And, like, even the enemy would laugh. But all of us were laughing because they outsmarted everyone in this situation. Like, they were, like, they were, like, fast. Like, the way they think is, like, super fast. So, James Toe was one of my best guy friends. And what happened is that Calvin wanted to hang out with James. So Calvin is also one of those undercover cops pretending to be the enemy. That guy was fucking weird. So anyways, what happened is that so Calvin is one of those guys who came around to pretend to be my friend, right, as an undercover cop, just to get Cho to get used to the idea where Earth men are different from heavenly men. Like, Earth men are more like this than like that. Okay, so Calvin is one of those guys. So Calvin, he chose to be best friends in time travel to James. And so what happened is that Calvin at our school, he would kind of start dating up a bunch of different girls, and he would start feeling them up at school, like rubbing his girlfriend's butt in front of everybody's face and start laughing, pinching her butt, trying to grab her boob in front of everybody's face to promote the sex life. to everybody. And what happened is that I just did not think too much about it, but I just knew I did not really like seeing it. All I knew is I just did not really like seeing it and thought that it was not okay for him to do that, but that he just kept doing it anyways. And so that girl, she was not pretty, his girlfriend, not pretty, but she was very nice girl at the very least. And she would constantly tell him, don't do that, you got to stop doing that, there are people watching, they're gonna see that, you can't do that. And he kept doing it anyways. Okay. And eventually, after high school, they broke up. That girl, she was like Filipino, he was Laos, and that girl was really nice to me. And eventually Calvin started dating my best friend Jenny Lou. Not Jenny Track, but Jenny Lou, because Jenny Lou was my favorite best friend at the time, because she was just the one who came by me and talked to me a bit more often, but because Jenny Lou was like the nicer one, she was like nicer than Jenny. But the reason why that was happening was because my fake dad found out that Jenny Track was like fucking rich. So he was like bullying and harassing Jenny Track to be mean to me. Min cho mat yet. You know, you guys have heard that on the internet, right? A bunch of people saying that shit all the time. Min cho mat yet. Cho is so stupid. You're not that much better than most other people, Cho. Like, you're a fucking itch. Alright? So I'm the one who's probably getting bullied the most on the internet right now. Anyways, but my dad, my fake dad, Elbow-san, Jackie Chan, true, was hella fucking mean to me through Jenny, and he was telepathically telling Jenny Track to be mean to me. And it was noticeable. Jenny, why are you supporting my dad? Oh, I'm not supporting him. I'm your friend, Cho. Stuff like that, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like Taylor got roped into the whole thing really fucking fast. Because every day I would just run around and I would tell my friends, oh my God, Taylor Richards, Taylor R, is my favorite YouTuber. You gotta watch. And then we would watch her videos and she will tell like the funniest joke, right? And she would be super girly, super fashionable, like super, super high class, super rich, pretty girl and everything, right? So I would just tell Jenny and like Linda, and I would tell like James, oh my God, so Taylor is my favorite YouTuber, right? And then, so what happened is that immediately after, apparently, because Taylor was my best friend as a YouTuber, and you guys know this by now because Taylor keeps talking to me, that all of a sudden, Taylor was forced to marry and elope. She was forced to elope with Elbow-san, my fake fucking dad. And then all of a sudden, she's like insulting me on the internet. She's being held a hostage, like trying to support me on the side, but at the same time, let me know that my dad is talking shit about me through her. And Jenny was doing the same thing. Jenny Track, okay? So Jenny Track was not so nice at the time, but I love Jenny. Like, I just love Jenny. And Taylor just loves Jenny. And Taylor would always say, I just love Jenny. Like, I love Jenny, okay? And she was a hostage at the same time. So Jenny Track was the more mean one. And Jenny Lou got to be the nicer one, because heaven just played it out that way. The nice Jenny and the mean Jenny. And they're both the same person anyways. Okay? So Jenny Lou was my best friend. And so Calvin tried to date her because she was my best friend. And Jenny was forced to break up with my younger brother. But my younger brother, I found out, was also in a hostage situation, in an earthly hostage situation where he was forced to be the younger brother of the family who gets who gets this royal Asian king treatment where, you know, the younger brother is better than the older brother and he gets to have as many girlfriends as he want because he's a Chinese fucking skank. And that's like an Asian dream. That's an Asian Chinese colonizer dream, right? Does that make sense? So what happened is that my younger brother was being forced to ask a bunch of different girls at our school to be his girlfriend. And that shit was limitless. It was unlimited. He had no restraint. Vin was forced to ask a bunch of girls out on a date no matter what, because Chinese people and pedophilic Chinese people just wanted him to do that. Okay? So Vin was forced to date Jenny Lu because Chinese people just fucking cheat on people no matter fucking what. Earthlings just like cheating on people with their best friend, their mom, their dad, their brother, sister, no matter fucking what. Right? I'm talking about, you know, like that Italian Japanese wedding where the bride got her soon to be husband cheated on her with her fucking dad. Creepy, right? Well, anyways, so they just want to cheat. So Vin was forced to ask a bunch of different girls on a fucking date. Okay? And I also thought that was out of character for Vin too, because Vin would occasionally speak from a very like heavenly church like standpoint, like Cho, like, you know, like the church, they don't like that. You're not supposed to date more than that. You're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. Well, you know, the reason why that's not right and that is wrong is because this, and then the reason why this is right and that's wrong is because of this. And Vin would talk like that, right? But I just never understood. Vin was like such a church kid. He loved his church friends. He loved church, but he would never. So I just thought it was very weird for him, very strange. Like something I could not understand was why Vin asked out so many girls out on a date. And he was funny about it though. They were all really funny about it, you know, as like heavenly people, because we're really smart and we're really funny. Vin is so funny, but Alex told me that the reason why Vin kept on asking out a bunch of girls at school is because he was a hostage to Earthlings who wanted a younger brother pedophilic man-child lifestyle where he gets to ask out a bunch of different girls on a date and he gets to date everybody, where a bunch of losers couldn't fucking do it and they couldn't get a girl, they couldn't get a man, they couldn't date because no one wanted them. And so Vin would tell me, oh, I asked this girl out on a date and I asked her to be my girlfriend, and then she said no. And then he would just start laughing her really freaking hard. Like he would just start rolling on the floor and he would just start laughing because the girl told him that she didn't want him. Like he would just freaking do that like every single time. Every single time. Like every single time. He would just freaking do that. If it was like Sasuke, if it was fucking Levi, if it was fucking Yuki Soma, they would get hella fucking mad, dude. They would get fucking mad. They would hella fucking start fucking killing people, fucking slapping Eren Yeager across the fucking face, stomping on his fucking face because I said no, I don't want to fucking date him. You filthy animal! Start getting hella fucking mad. Hella fucking mad and shit like that, right? Just because someone rejected them. They can't handle it. Earthlings, they can't handle that shit. They get really fucking mad and they get really fucking hurt. But my younger brother would just start laughing like every single time. And then those girls would actually also start laughing because Vin is so funny. Like, Vin is hella fucking funny. Like, Vin would tell me, like, the funniest jokes. The funniest jokes. But I'm not gonna tell you guys in this story, but Vin is super fucking funny, okay? So, anyways, Vin was a hostage and he was being forced to go around to ask a bunch of girls on a date. And apparently, my fake dad, True, Jackie Chan was forcing Vin to do that the whole time, anyways, just to see how it will work out as an experiment or as like a colonizer. One day, I'm gonna be Vin through trafficking. One day I'm going to colonize Vin, and that's going to be one of my puppets. That's going to be one of my clones. So you had better start now. You had better start early. Does that make sense? And there's a Mexican guy downstairs who's that's a shit ass fucking life, you know? So who's downstairs right now? He's a Phi, right? And he said it in a very gay way, and I can't talk like that because I don't know how. I don't like that voice anyways. But so it's a very shit life to live. To be a rapist, dude, it fucking sucks. Might as well call you an exigua. You're a fucking exigua, dude. That's just a shit ass life to fucking have, dude. So anyways, it's a shit ass life to fucking have, you know. But anyway, so that's why, guys. That's why that happened. And so what's happening is that Calvin, okay, eventually, so Vin broke up with my best friend Jenny Lou because a bunch of gay guys, I'm not gay guys, a bunch of skanks. Sorry, we're calling them skanks now. A bunch of LSBT skanks, right? Where they were trying to get my younger brother to date my best friend so that my younger brother can go out on dates with her and I'm not invited to go. And that only happened once. My younger brother and Jenny did not want to disrespect me, so they only really did it once. They only went out without me once. As a secret code, as a secret message of that's how they were trying to treat me. Earthlings are trying to treat me the whole time, but they really only did it once. And then Vin eventually gave me back my best friend because Vin was at a hostage point and he was forced to ask out a bunch of different girls out on a date. So eventually Vin breaks up with Jenny Lou, and then he goes back to church. He goes back to church and he starts being best friends with Matthew. Like, Vin's best friends with Matthew, dude. Matthew Nguyen from church. Like, that guy was like the cutest one, dude. And so was Darren Dow. And Darren Dow was also super fucking cute. And Darren Dow is also Vin Nguyen's best friend. And they have... And Vin did not post it on his Facebook, but like on Darren's Facebook, right? So on Darren's Facebook, what happened is that I don't talk to him too much because I don't talk to boys. I only want to talk to girls. But Darren was around and he would always talk to me first, right? But Darren on Facebook, when me and Vin graduated and went to college, right? All of a sudden, Darren Dow started posting on his Facebook Vin. And Vin and Darren Dow were church school teachers at the church school because Vin graduated and he became a church school teacher at the church. Because he's a part of the heavenly family, so he was given the privilege to do that. And so what happened is that Darren would post pictures of Vin being his best friend at church, and they would just laugh really hard. Like Vin would tell the funniest joke, and Darren Dow would literally start laughing like really hard on camera. And the truth is that the picture was actually really, really funny. So you would get those vibes and you would start laughing too because it was really, really funny. Like, those two guys were really funny together. Really funny. So my younger brother Vin was really funny. So Vin was hanging out with Matthew, and they did not post pictures at all. And Vin was hanging out with Darren Dow, and Darren Dow was the one who was posting pictures because he was the president of the church. But Vin did not post pictures of Darren Dow or Matthew on his Facebook. And Matthew would not post pictures of my family with him on Facebook either. Okay, so first of all, the reason why Vin never posted pictures of Darren Dow on his Facebook is because he did not want to invite Chinese people to the Vietnamese church. And that shit was so fucking bad, though. Like, inviting Chinese people to the Vietnamese church is so fucking bad. We should not be doing that at all. And I think you guys should understand why. Because all of a sudden, Chinese people are going to come to Vietnamese church acting like they're Vietnamese and saying some bullshit like, oh, I don't date Vietnamese girls. I only date American girls. And start saying bullshit like that. Hella talking about how Linda and Lil Tay look hella fucking racist and shit like that. Hella trying to be fucking white. That's the most racist shit. And then some Mexican guy said, dirty. Hella fucking dirty. That's what he said. Ta đúng rồi, is what he said. So what's happening is that Vin did not post pictures of church school on his Facebook because he did not want anyone to know that he had friends at the church. And the people at the church also did not want people at her school, any other Asian kid, to be invited to the church. I think I just caught a mosquito on camera, dude. It looks like a fly, but it's a mosquito. But anyways, so what's happening is that, yeah, and Vin was hanging out with Matthew, and the reason why Matthew did not post my family on Facebook and that my family did not post Matthew on Facebook is because Matthew is extremely handsome and he's extremely good looking, and we also did not want to invite outsiders to the Vietnamese church to meet the Vietnamese royal family. Like, you guys are just not allowed to do that because you guys are so fucking dirty. Like, you guys are hella fucking weird, and we're too fucking different for you guys to understand that we don't want you guys around. Because what they did to Vietnam was so fucking dirty. Like, have you guys seen, if you guys type in travel to Vietnam videos, if you type in Chun-Li Street Fighter 2 stage, you will see exactly what happened to Vietnam. It is so fucking dirty. It is so fucking dirty what they did to Vietnam. Like, Vietnam was betrayed to so much immense extent that no one was allowed to visit the royal Vietnamese family ever again. And that was just an our community thing, a Vietnamese community thing that you guys were not invited to because we did not want your family where you remember your life from your fucking womb and how much you like fucking sex. Shit like that. We just did not want you guys at the fucking church. So Matthew still hangs out with my family behind the scene. So Matthew was really nice. He visited my school. So he went to another school, and I don't remember what school he went to, but he was from another school, and he was like 2 years older than me. And he apparently visited my school for a volleyball game. And so what's happening is that his school was competing in volleyball sports against my school, and he came by. And I never, ever, 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 ever talked to him before. I just saw him around. And he never talked to me. I think I only talked to him once, but I don't remember what it was. So Matthew, he came by and I said, "Oh my God, it's Matthew from church at our school. I can't believe he visited our school. I wonder if he's doing it to visit me, to see me. But I don't think that he's doing it because I'm so fucking ugly, dude. Have you guys seen my AI CGI character Layover, dude? Like, it is so bad. It's been like that since I was, like, in kindergarten. Like, every single, like, 10 years, I might have one good picture. Like, 10 years, I might have one good picture. So I was like, no, it couldn't be, right? And then, he did come by my high school once. And that was about it. And I think it was because he wanted people to know that Cho had a cute friend from church who visited our school once. So he came by in a very, like, undercover type of way. Like, it was very secret, but he came by, and then that was it. And then the next time that I ever saw him again, okay, so it was pretty much my sister in college. When I went to college, my sister hired him to work for a South Korean sushi restaurant. And it is a South Korean sushi restaurant, you guys. South Korean sushi restaurant. When I say South Korean sushi restaurant, I mean like high class rich people stuff. Good quality food, like good. You don't want to go to a Japanese sushi restaurant at all. You don't. That shit fucking sucks. It fucking sucks, dude, to go to a Japanese sushi restaurant. It fucking sucks, dude. Because at one point, I was like, isn't it sushi Japanese? Isn't it sushi Japanese? I was always getting South Korean sushi, right? And so, like, I was like saying, oh, how come I always get served sushi by South Korean people? And with a little bit of disappointment, and the reason why is because plastic surgery was going around. And I like anime and I don't like plastic surgery. So that was going on. There was like kind of like a disappointment, but the sushi was good. But I finally got, and then my sister Fong, who loves South Korean people, finally took me to get sushi once at a Japanese restaurant. And they refused to serve us sushi. They wouldn't fucking do it. They would not give us sushi. And it was a Japanese man too. He was so ugly. One of those like OG-san looking ones, but kind of like a little bit younger. Like in the 40s, 30s type of personality, maybe 50 years old. And he was like, would not give us sushi. So what they gave us was like meat on skewer sticks. I can't remember what it was called. There's an item name for it. But it was like meat on skewer sticks, right? And so what happened is that they refused to give us sushi at a Japanese sushi restaurant. And then the meat on the skewer sticks tasted really bad. And then we just started going back to South Korean sushi restaurants. But I did not notice that he was Japanese, but he was. And then the next time that I got to eat sushi was with Jenny. So Jenny took me out to get sushi 3 times. The first time she took me to get sushi was that was really bad. That was a bad day. Because the first time Jenny ever took me out to eat sushi, Jenny Track, was the day that I wore my American Eagle brand pinstripe green dress with a Vietnam War military jacket with my gray cardigan underneath, brown boots, and designer messenger bag, canvas bag. So Jenny took me out to eat sushi that day, and that was with white people around. And I'm just gonna add this in, okay? So this was really bad. So Jenny, she took me out to eat sushi, and she said, "Oh, my sister Linda, really wanted to come. She really wanted to hang out, but she couldn't come because she had to go to work or something like that." So that day, right? And so Jenny, she's like saying, and then Jenny and I were talking, blah 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 blah. I had to crawl myself out of hell before my great debut, and a bunch of skanks were hella fucking jealous of me because I'm a fucking woman, and because I was like prettier than them that day or something like that, like a fucking diva, dude. So Jenny was saying I try to have a good day with Jenny because I look good that day, and I wanted to be nice to Jenny, but Jackie Chan was torturing me and trying to change who I am and make me to a fucking bitch, right? Yell at everyone all fucking time, cuss people out like fucking crazy, lie to everyone all fucking day, disforiate them into a world that lies to you all the fucking time and the truth doesn't exist no more. Okay, I was trying to be a good person that day. It was evil, you guys. It was evil. Okay. And so what happened is that I was trying to be nice to Jenny. I was saying, "Oh, you know, Jenny, like, so the blah, 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 blah." And then Jenny was like, "Cho, they're talking shit about you. They're talking shit about you." Oh my God. Oh my God, Cho. They hate you. They don't like you. They're saying you're weird. Like, this and that, this and that. And I was like, "Jenny, like, how can you say that to me? And why are you saying this in front of a white person's face? You know better than that." And then, you can't talk like this in front of white people. This is their country. Like, you know the rules. They don't like hearing stuff like that. That's bullying. I know, Cho, but the boys, like, they're talking like they're talking so bad right now. Like, they're complaining a lot. Like, the boys, like the boys, but the boys, like, they're saying like they don't like you. The boys, like, they're saying they don't like you right now, right? And she was like, "Oh my God." And then I was like, but Jenny, when did I ever talk about the boys? Jenny, I don't care about boys. We're girls, we're hanging out. Like, what about the boys? Like, what about the boys? Cho, I almost died. Oh my God. So my boyfriend, so we changed the subject a little bit later, right? We eventually changed the subject, and then Jenny said, "So my boyfriend, I met him on Tinder." So Jenny, are you talking about David Ranchos? No. I'm talking about some random guy I met on Tinder. And so what's happening is my boyfriend tried to kill me because he thinks I'm cheating on him with David. David Ranchos? No, David Liu. So he thought I was cheating on him with David Liu. And what happened is that just down the street from here, there are these apartments. And he stalked me and he followed me to those apartments. And I'll show you a little bit later. And he hated me because he thought I was cheating on him with David Liu. And that guy was super crazy. And he kept stalking me everywhere. Like, everywhere, to my job, to my school. And he tried to kill me because he did not want me to cheat on him. And I just thought that Jenny was like acting boy crazy. Like, she just liked guys a lot. And like, she just wanted to talk about boys, when in reality, like, it just did not make sense for Jenny, and even in my mind, to be boy crazy. Because Jenny is like a girl's girl, right? But the reason why this happened is because the heavenly people finally explained to me, Joe, the reason why that happened is because the skanks just want to talk about God all fucking day. The LSBT just want to talk about how great men are all fucking night and day long. And they just want to kill girls because they're just fucking murderers. And they just don't like girls. So what's happening is the reason why a bunch of skanks that Jenny kept talking about, a bunch of skanks being her boyfriend all the fucking time, was because they were just trying to jack her money and steal her fucking house. And she was under a huge hostage point to talk about the boys, oh my god, the boys all fucking day. The reason why she had to fucking do it is because she was a hostage to the boys at the fucking time. Because the boys don't want the girls to have friends. Right? Girl time don't really exist. Like, you're not allowed to talk about your dog, your cat. You're not allowed to talk about your best friend who's a girl. You're only allowed to talk about fucking men. And that's it. So that's what happened. So Jenny was saying that her boyfriend tried to kill her because he thought that she was cheating on her with some guy, right? So Alex explained to me, Cho, she was talking about David Ranchos the whole time. Like, you had the idea. You knew it was David Ranchos. Jenny had to lie. So what happened is that she had to lie and say David Liu's name because David Ranchos did not want to get exposed, snitched on. He did not want to get snitched on. So what happened is that Jenny was saying that David Ranchos tried to kill Jenny because she was eating sushi with me. And because she took me to eat sushi while I was wearing American Eagle clothing. Especially because this was designer clothing. We're talking about pinstripe American Eagle. With a Vietnam military jacket. Okay, this was a designer outfit. Right? The gay skanks, the LSBT gay skanks, right? He just sold his soul to the devil to get the word gay in there again. The LSBT skanks, right? So the LSBT got hella fucking mad that I was wearing designer clothing as a fucking diva skank who wanted to kill me. So he just honked his horn to say that's correct. So Jenny was hinting to me that David Ranchos was trying to kill me and her, and he just drove down the street to kill everyone. And that's why she was like saying, oh my god, Joe, they're complaining. All right, we got to get out of here. So she didn't really say that, but we just sat down, we ate the sushi. We did have to leave a little bit early. And I thought it was because a lot of people were talking shit about me, right? So Jenny, she drove me down the street. And she's like, oh yeah, this is just down the street from that sushi restaurant. And there were no apartments. There were none. There were only businesses. And we went down really far. We went down like an hour to 45 minutes. Businesses only. And then I never said it, but I just thought, but where are the apartments, Jenny? I don't see the apartments. And then she was like saying, oh yeah, so me and my boyfriend went here, me and my boyfriend went here, and me and my boyfriend went here. And we would hang out over here, and we would get drugs over here. Shit like that. And Jenny, she never went with her boyfriend here. She was just kind of secretly giving me an answer undercover so that the mind-reading skanks don't know too much of what she's trying to say. When in reality, Jenny was saying, Cho, there are no apartments here. I had to lie a little bit, and I had to twist the truth because they were complaining right here, right then and now. They were trying to kill us just down the street. They were just right here. They were here, and they were here, and they were trying to find the sushi restaurant that we were eating at. But God sent them to hell. So it's not like they could catch us. And then they were over here They were trying to kill us here. They were trying to kill us here, and they were trying to kill us here because you were wearing a designer outfit, because you were so pretty that day, Cho, that everyone tried to kill you. All of the boys tried to kill you today, Cho, because you were too fucking pretty. And that was the whole point. That was the whole point. Okay? It was David Ranchos the whole fucking time. Look to the past. You might fucking crash again and fucking die. And that's it. Okay? It was him the whole fucking time. And Jenny, Jenny was forced to call him her fucking boyfriend because he wanted to be fucking rich. And he wanted to be popular. Okay? He's a fucking skank. So anyways, Jenny took me to that restaurant. To that restaurant. It was white people serving the restaurant. And for sure, white people can serve good sushi. But the reason why it did not happen was because it had to taste bad because he's fucking Mexican. Guys. No ketchup. No sugar. Nothing. No sugar in your spaghetti. No fucking ketchup. No this, no that. Okay? It had better not fucking taste good. And that's it. So what happened is that Jenny took me to a restaurant where white people are serving sushi. Super fucking rare. First time I got sushi, and that was it. Linda wanted to come, couldn't, because the gays, I mean not the gay, but the skanks, the skanky boys were trying to fucking kill us. So we had to cancel our designer, high class girl fucking party. Like Linda Track, Dark Pastel, Starlight Moonlight, Lionheart. We're all gonna be there, right? But we had to cancel it. So what happened is that the second time Jenny took me to sushi, so the white people sushi should have been good, was not. We almost fucking died that day. The second time I went to get sushi was at a South Korean restaurant. Now, South Korean sushi is just better. It's just better. Vietnamese sushi, also just better. Have you ever had sushi? Vietnamese sushi, really good. Really good sushi. Okay? As long as it's not tapped in and wiretapped by fucking China. And by fucking Japan. So that day, I went to get sushi with Linda and Jenny while I was living in their house. Okay? And it tasted okay. The sushi at this restaurant. So the sushi at this restaurant was a restaurant that Vin worked at with Matthew. And Vin worked at this sushi restaurant with Matthew. And so this sushi restaurant was super high class, super popular. A lot of other designer Asian people were here. Were like Kenji, Scott, Matthew, Vin, Yuri was there. A bunch of designer Asian kids. Oh, and the South Korean king. The South Korean king, they met him at this sushi restaurant, right? It was around this time that they met the Princess Hours guy. You guys know the South Korean movie Princess Hours? Sheen, right? They named him Sheen. So that South Korean, they changed his name again. Yeah, I don't remember his name, but he had like that Zhao Yun type of name, but it was like South Korean. So they met him also at this sushi restaurant. But my other brothers and sisters also worked at that sushi restaurant because my family secretly owned this restaurant with South Korea and America, okay? So at this sushi restaurant, the food did not taste good. And the reason why is because we just did not want to serve food that tastes good because a lot of people are super fucking territorial about food because this is like a gluttony planet, right? A world of gluttony. But a lot of designer characters there, and Linda ate sushi with me the first and last time at this restaurant, which was a South Korean Vietnamese American sushi restaurant. Okay? But only Asian people were here at this restaurant. Here at this restaurant ever. Serving it, owning it. White people, shadow master. You don't know where they are. Apparently, they weren't there at all. You don't know them. Right? But it had an American English name with a bunch of Asian people running the restaurant. And so Kenji was actually just Vietnamese with the Japanese name. South Korean, Vietnamese mixture. Kind of had well, anyways, we're not going to talk about him too much because we don't want Japanese people around too much, right? So anyways, and then he was like the ugly one too. Like Kenji was like the ugly one. Like it was like, why is the Japanese one the ugly one though? Like Kenji is hella fucking ugly. Like the South Korean guys and the Vietnamese guys just look better than him. So we don't want to talk about Kenji too much. And anyways, and then the third restaurant that Jenny took me to was really far, really far. It was in like a rich people location. And Jenny took me to eat some sushi here, and this was the first time that Japanese people finally served sushi. And the sushi here, he served it. It tasted really bad. It had like some type of like, I don't know, to it. Like maybe it had like some type of like sleepy drugs to it. And it kind of like had like heartburn to it. So I didn't really like it too much. And it did not taste good. I ate the sushi here. I was like, I'm definitely never coming back here ever again. Like, why? Like, he's Japanese, right? Yeah, Cho. So Jenny was like saying, Cho, so I have a Japanese friend who wants to serve us sushi. And I want to bring you along. And our other friends can't come because they're busy. So it's just going to be me and you. And we're going to get sushi down there. I want to pay. I want to pay for you. So I'll pay for you and we'll go get the sushi. And so we got the sushi and we got it there. And it was some Japanese guy. And I just didn't want to be rude. I was like, oh, okay, so first time Japanese person serving me sushi. And it just did not taste good. It was like a volcano roll. It had like cheese on it. It had like sriracha. It had crab meat on it, imitation crab meat. It had like all that, like American style type sushi. It just did not taste good. Okay? So anyways, definitely you do not want Japanese sushi. You always, if you get sushi, if you want good sushi, guys, you have to make sure that the chef is South Korean. And make sure he's not North Korean. Make sure he's not some Japanese guy pretending to be South Korean. Like, for sure, if you want good sushi, you have to make sure you have to make sure that the sushi is fucking South Korean or Vietnamese sushi. Vietnamese sushi is pretty good too. You'll never hear about it, right? Because Akari is Vietnamese. Like, you'll never really figure it out. But if the sushi restaurant is next to a Vietnamese restaurant, there's a chance it might actually just be a Vietnamese sushi store. Does that make sense? So those restaurants, sushi restaurants, can potentially be pretty good. For sure. You might have some like fake knockoff fucking items to look bad and taste bad, or look good and then taste bad, so Levi Ackerman doesn't get fucking jealous. You know what I'm talking about? You have to have a decoy and pretend like your country's fucking shit in front of Levi Ackerman's fucking face. You know what I'm talking about? So anyways, other than that, like Vietnamese sushi, if you can find the secret item, which is on the menu for public eye to see. And if you can figure out which is the house item, then it's going to be really good for sure. For sure. And I had to have my South Korean friend teach me that. Teach me that. He's like saying, "Oh, Cho, so my favorite sushi restaurant, let's go." So my South Korean friend, and I only had one at my school, be my friend. So this South Korean guy took me with me and my friends to a sushi restaurant, and he got me a ceviche roll. And ceviche means Cece and Cho are Vietnamese, and we're gonna show off our sushi roll. And then I ate it, and it was my favorite sushi roll. It's my favorite sushi roll of all time. The Vietnamese ceviche roll, right next to the sushi restaurant. I mean, the Vietnamese restaurant, really good. One of the best, for sure. But if you guys want Vietnamese sushi, just be careful, because if you look at Vietnam, the country is super fucking dirty due to hatred and racism, right? So just be careful. But if you want good sushi, definitely go to a South Korean sushi restaurant. Don't go to Japanese, ever. Ase Nobu style? No, I'll say no. I'll say no. So Ase Nobu style means I'll say no to this style of sushi. That's what it means. Does that make sense? Do not eat Japanese sushi. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't eat Japanese sushi. Okay? So anyways, you definitely just don't eat Japanese sushi made by Japanese chefs ever. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. Okay? You definitely want South Korean people, and I have to say, well, I mean, you might have Vietnamese, Japanese people coming around, like Akari, who might, okay, so not necessarily Akari, but like pretty girls that look like Mrs. Eats. Man, she had to change her name to Mrs. Eats. Her name should have never been Mrs. Eats, dude. Dang. But like pretty Vietnamese girls like her that have like that are actually Japanese, right? So her, like, you might have people like her serving you sushi, but definitely I would just say go South Korean for sushi. Okay? But anyways, so Vin, okay, used to work at a South Korean sushi restaurant with Matthew and my brothers and sisters. And they all introduced the South Korean king while doing business with South Korea and the South Korean airline hospitals, Weenie Hut Jr. with him. So they were doing business with South Korea around this time. And he was the secret business owner that everyone was kind of keeping a secret from the general public, but also me. But anyways, yeah, so Vin was hanging out with Matthew, and they all kept all of them a secret from Chinese people at our schools, because we just don't want Chinese people to be yelling at people all the fucking time and saying things like, stupid, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, I did it, you didn't, stealing credit for shit they didn't fucking do all fucking night and day long, and acting like that around us. Okay, so Vin and Jenny Lou broke up finally. But Jenny was very nice to Vin, and Vin was very nice to Jenny. And they were very funny together, but Vin should have never dated Jenny. And that's what Alex said. And Vin never wanted to date Jenny, and Jenny never wanted to date Vin. But they were in a hostage situation by Earthlings where they just want the younger brother to be, like, popular. And then colonize him eventually. And so Vin and Jenny broke up, and Vin eventually just went back to church. And he started hanging out with his best friends at church. And he would keep secret that he was hanging out with these super handsome guys. And they were also keeping secret that they were hanging out with Vin. And then that was it. Vin would just do that. And he would never tell anyone. And the Vietnamese community was also keeping it a secret. So the Vietnamese people that did not go to church with us, but went to a different church, were also knew from a heavenly perspective, and they were also keeping it a secret. So James, Lily, Truk, they were all keeping it a secret. They hella fucking knew Matthew. They knew Darian. They knew Calvin from heaven. They knew him from heaven. So anyways, Jenny and Vin broke up. And Vin started hanging out with church people again. And he was still forced to ask a bunch of different girls out on dates. And that was it. But Jenny was then now forced to date Evan and Calvin. And the reason why they were Evan and Calvin were trying to date Jenny, my best friend, because they were trying to hang out with me. And that was it. So they were trying to hang out with me. And Calvin, okay, now we're getting back to real time. In real time, what's happening in a real event. So Calvin, okay, was always talking about sex. He broke up. So Arlen broke up with him, the Filipino girl, because she didn't want to date him anymore. Because Calvin was saying a bunch of weird shit like, he was saying a bunch of weird shit like, hey Cho, did you know that Arlen she goes to the movies and she watches movies alone? Yeah, like, she just does shit like that. I mean, when I go to the movies, I always go with James. But like, Arlen, she goes to the movies alone, dude. Like, she just does shit like that. Isn't that like weird? I don't know, girls just do shit like that, right? And then in the back of my head, I was like, oh my God, what? You let Arlen go to the movies alone? What kind of a boyfriend are you? What the fuck? Arlen is so nice. And she might not be pretty, but she's so freaking nice. I can't believe this shit. And then I just don't even remember what I said. And then all I said was, oh, really? He was like, yeah, like. And she would just do that. And I would just say, oh, okay. And then that's all I said. But in the back of my head, I just thought he was a fucking bitch for talking about her like that. And then I was thinking, I don't think Arlen is the type of person who would do stuff like that. Because she have loyalty. She have a type of loyalty to her from friends at her school and from her family, especially from her family. She have a type of loyalty from her family that just made me know for a fact that Calvin was fucking lying. He was hella fucking lying. And he just kept saying that to me over and over and over again. Which got me to eventually try to go to the movies once. Just to investigate the situation. Just to see what it was like. Just to know what happened. Because I don't really like watching movies too much. So I go to the movies by myself. I just pick a random movie without looking at a trailer. I was like, oh, okay, that one looks nice. I watched the movie. It was fucked up. It was like evil ass fucking movie. Evil ass fucking movie. Haunted as fuck. The movie theaters are haunted, dude. There's a bunch of fucking ghost movies and haunted movies there. Even if it was not a haunted movie, it was just a bunch of kids who... Oh shit, I just got a text message. Okay, well anyways, it was like a movie about a bunch of kids from like the 70s or 80s to 90s, but it was like in the 2010 where like technology and the internet weren't really around, and then the kids were fucking bored, so they just rode bikes and did baseball all fucking day long and shit like that. And then they rode their bike like really fucking far. These kids rode their bike really fucking far, like 3 hours to a fucking farm just to hang out at like a fucking cornfield where like aliens do stupid shit like start stealing fucking crops from our fucking farms and shit like that. It was a crazy ass movie. And then the second it was that type of farm, it was an alien fucking movie too. Right? There's a lot of movies like that, but this one was an alien one, and I just fucking left. When the kids hit the fucking farm, I left because it was a horrible ass fucking movie about a bunch of kids who decided to live on Earth without God. Do you get what I'm saying? No internet, no computers, no cell phones. You just travel the Earth because the motherland took care of you better than God ever fucking did. Shit like that, right? So I just fucking left. I was like, Calvin's a fucking liar. That's a horrible ass fucking experience. The movie theater's hella fucking haunted, and that was it. No one should ever go to the movie theaters alone. Calvin is a fucking faggot. He's a fucking skank. And I never said shit. I never said anything. I didn't say shit after that, okay? But back to this whole entire rapist skank story where Calvin keep molesting his girlfriend at the fucking school, and he kept trying to hang out. He kept trying to molest on my fucking best friend. Did not want them to fucking date. I didn't. I never approved of that shit. Okay? So anyways, what happened is that he tried to fucking cheat on Jenny Lou with Jenny Track too. I even told Calvin, like one time, with Calvin was hanging out with Jenny Lou, Jenny Track, and me. And what happened is that Calvin was acting like a fucking skank to Jenny Lou. And he kept flirting with Jenny Track because Jenny Track was like, apparently, I thought it was because, oh, it's because she's prettier and she's smarter and she was like richer or whatever. In reality, Calvin would have cheated on Jenny Track with Jenny Lou anyways. On the ugly girl. He would have done it, is what Alex said. So it really didn't matter. But I was like, Jenny, Calvin should not be treating you like that. He should not be trying to cheat on you with Jenny. Like, I know that Jenny Track has like a better personality. Like, Jenny is just like, has such a great personality. Like, I love Jenny Track. Like, I love her, and she might be prettier, or it might be because Linda is such a fucking pretty sister, and she might have like a better family life or whatever. But Jenny, like, you matter. You are my best friend, and I don't like seeing Calvin cheat on you and treat you like you're the poor, ugly, irrelevant girlfriend because he's in the face of a prettier girl, and a funnier, nicer, prettier girl. He should not treat you that way. And Jenny, and I'm talking to Jenny Track, okay, Jenny, you should not be laughing, and you should not be entertaining Calvin. You should not be like acting like this is okay to treat your best friend Jenny like that. So I actually talked to all of them like that, and then Calvin said, well, I just like Jenny, and he just kept doing that and doing that and doing that, and then Jenny just kept going along with it because they were all in a hostage situation where Calvin had a bunch of gay fags, a bunch of skanks in the back, ready to pound on a fucking bitch. And I saw them too. Calvin brought a bunch of the ugliest men to beat on our fucking friends just because I was a celebrity in the fucking future, and he was trying to stop that shit from fucking happening. So do you guys know that black guy talking to Little Tay? Okay, so he brought someone like that, but uglier, like Joe Jackson fucking ugly, to fucking rape and beat and murder Linda fucking Track. And that was Calvin the whole time. So do you guys know that black guy that's talking to Lil Tay right now on her fucking channel? Like, who's this black guy? Like, why is he talking to Lil Tay? It's because that was Sonny the whole fucking time. Now, when I say Sonny was fucked up, when I say, Linda, why are you fucking talking to fucking Sonny? Why are you telling everyone he's your fucking boyfriend? Linda, you deserve better than that. And the reason why was because in my friends group, there's a guy named Calvin who brought that guy over, that black Mexican Asian guy, super fucking ugly, to beat and rape and murder Linda. Okay? That's what happened. I just fucking found out because he does not care about anyone. He wanted to be popular. He kept saying, yeah, you know, that girl said at my job, she was a customer. She said I was really good looking. And then Jenny was like, yeah, she was really pretty. I was there because blah, 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 blah. And then after I was like, Calvin? Good looking? In my head, I was like, oh, okay, and then I said, oh, okay, that's cool. And then that was it. I just tried to be nice about it because I was still really young in the mind and I could not connect the dots until I was smarter about social life, about society, right? And so what happened is that Calvin ended up trying to date my best friend, the both of them, because I was eventually going to become a celebrity, and he wanted to do me dirty by dating everyone in my entire community, right? So this whole entire rapist life, okay, I'm just letting you guys know. So Calvin, and then Jenny one day, she kept talking about sex, and that seems very unlike Jenny. Because Jenny has a really cute personality. Like, Jenny has a personality that's kind of like Honey Senpai from Ouran High School Host Club. Okay? So she has like a very innocent personality that's kind of like Honey Senpai, right? She's kind of like Bochi, the rock star. She's kind of like Azumanga Daioh. Alright? So she's kind of like, you know, like that popular meme? Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. I wish I were a bird. Hello, hello, hello. Like, so Jenny just has that personality. It's so cute. It's so funny. It's so nice to be around. And we're talking about Jenny Track, okay? So a girl like that talking about sex a lot is very questionable. But I could not separate. I could not understand the separation of personalities. I was just like, oh, maybe she's just like that. Maybe she just have that personality and talk about sex a lot. When in reality, Alex was saying, Cho, the reason why it was like that is because someone's muffling my voice right now with magic. The reason why it was like that is because Calvin is just a sex fiend. He just wants sex all the fucking time. He just always got to talk about sex. He just always need to talk about sex. He just need to talk about sex all the fucking time. So he just forced Jenny and Jenny to talk about sex all the time in front of your face to promote a sex life in your face at a very young age, at a very early age, because he was just a fucking predator the whole fucking time. Is what Alex was saying. And no one liked it. And Alex and Calvin was secretly, and he did not want to promote this interracialism in front of my fucking face, because he knew that I only want to hang out with Asian girls, but he was trying to be interracial behind the fucking scene and try to finally make it out and hang out with white people and stuff like that, right? But my friends are not interracial at all. We hang out with Vietnamese gang only. It's us, and not them. It's Jenny and Cho and Jenny and James only. And Linda only. And it's not them. Why? Because we're family. And family got to stick together, you know? So what happened is that Jenny track was like popular. But even after many, many years, Jenny always came back to me. She always said, Cho, you're my best friend. You're my best friend. You're my number one. I'm always waiting for Cho. I don't hang out with anyone else but Cho. Cho, if you ever think that I'm cheating on you with another friend, I have another secret friend behind the scene somewhere else out there, it's not true. Jenny and Linda are Cho's best friend. And that's it. And Jenny gave me that speech when I was dating Dylan. And that was it. And of course, sometimes from an earthly perspective, it can mean anything, right? But from a heavenly perspective, we are best friends no matter what. We are family. And that means a lot to us. And so Jenny was forced to just to talk about sex like, oh, I love sex. I have sex like 7 days a week. I had sex with Travis. I had sex with James. I had sex with David, and then I cheated on David with his brother Melvin, and then I cheated on David with his best friend Travis because David was gay for Matthew Gates. He was a skank for Matthew Gates, and he just wanted to marry a rich white guy, and then he magically said, Duroy! Yeah, well, you should be ashamed of yourself. And get the fuck out of his fucking country. Go back to Mexico where you fucking belong. Fucking skank. How's that for you, David? Yeah, now he's mad. You fucking bitch! Is what he said. He finally cussed. So anyways, and then Jenny was like, oh yeah, and then I met some guy at the bar. And then I brought him home, and then I had sex with him 3 times. And then he cheated on me with my sister, and then he left. And then Jenny would just say shit like that all the fucking time. We're talking about Honey Senpai. Honey Senpai would just say that shit to me all the fucking time. And then like 3 years later, he came back into my life. And then he brought his girlfriend over, and then we had threesome sex. And then they never came back here again because they didn't like me or my sister, and they wanted to hang out with someone else. And then I met like 10 other guys on Tinder, and then I had sex with each and every one of them. And then Jenny would just say shit like that as Linda's sister with like a Honey Senpai personality. And then Honey Senpai would say things like, yeah, and then I had sex with 10 of those guys. And then they all cheated on me with Florence. And then they had sex with Travis. And then they would have sex, blah, 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 blah. It was a crazy ass story. And then Jenny would keep doing that. And then Jenny would do like a bunch of Honey Senpai things. Oh, cake. My favorite. I love cake. Joe, do you want cake? I know this is your favorite cake, so let's get it. Custard cake, right? You like custard cake? Let's go make it at home. Stuff like that. Like, Jenny was so cute. Jenny is like Honey Senpai herself. Himself, right? So anyways, girl voice actor, by the way, so I don't know. So anyways, and then it was like, and then Honey Senpai would say things like, and then I got pregnant with Sunny's fucking baby, but I don't know if I should keep it or not. Because that's Linda's boyfriend. Like, shit like that. And she would just say, the Honey Senpai would just say the craziest shit all fucking day. Yeah, well, I got the abortion. And then my other boyfriend came back into my life trying to have sex. And then I would just say, oh my God, Jenny. Without all the sex life, like, Jenny would be perfect. But that was like crazy shit. She would just say crazy shit about sex all fucking day. And then Alex said, Cho, the reason why Jenny was always talking like that was because of Calvin. You know how Calvin was always molesting that girl at school? It was him the whole fucking time. It was like, oh shit. It was him the whole fucking time. It was him the whole fucking time. That's why Jenny was talking like that. Makes sense now? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So at her school though, and then white people at her school kept saying, Calvin, can you stop talking to Cho about sex? She can't read minds. Like, she doesn't know how it's like in the real world. Like, Cho doesn't understand how bad sex can get because she can't read minds. Okay, so can you stop talking to Cho about sex? And he kept going, and he kept talking about sex, and this shit persisted for over 10 years. And Calvin kept doing that shit. Talking about how much he loves sex and needs sex. And he kept doing that shit. So eventually, now this is what happens, okay? So eventually, so Jenny is a virgin. Well, maybe not a virgin. She might have like a real secret boyfriend behind the scene that I never got to meet because of Calvin. Right? From a heavenly perspective, right? So anyways, but maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes like there's a secret, there's like a gossip going around. You should never post your boyfriend. Don't talk about your boyfriend. Don't let anybody know you have a boyfriend. And that's just simply it. And Dylan sent me that gossip as a computer engineer behind the fucking scene. So I got a lot of Instagram like fucking secret gossip posts. Like, oh, you know how much I love my man. You know how much I love my man. But you don't share that shit on the fucking internet. Because people are going to lie and they're going to fucking cheat. It's best to keep it a secret. Right? So sometimes you might not know. I don't know who Jenny's real boyfriend is, but she's married now. She's married now to someone who looked like Dylan. Okay? And that's just simply it. We'll just keep it there. But at the time, okay, so Calvin kept talking about sex and how much he loves sex. And eventually, this is a group event that I was not invited to, that I don't know about, but this is what happened. So Jenny and James and Jenny and Cho are best friends. And Jenny and James were always trying to hang out with Cho, but Calvin kept coming uninvited because he's a fucking stalker who is traveling back in time to ruin a celebrity fucking life before the celebrity become famous, is what he was trying to do. So what happened is that he loves sex more than anything, and that's the most important thing to him. And he kept talking to James about sex, Jenny and me about sex, and he kept talking to us about sex. And they sold their soul to the devil to fucking ruin my fucking voice, because they don't want the story to be told. And they're trying to hide this gossip that just got passed out on Facebook. And they're trying to hide this fucking gossip story. So what happened is that on Facebook recently, and it was last month, and the gossip, and I will post it later, and the gossip was, you can't come with us, bro. You don't take care of your kids. And what's happening is that Calvin and James will all say, bro, you can't do that, bro. You gotta do this, man. Smile, bro. You're alive. You know, stuff like that. They would just say bro a lot. And the gossip post was, you can't come with us, bro. You don't take care of your kids. And so what's happening is that, that's the life of a fucking rapist. You can't come with us, bro. You don't take care of your kids. And that's what happened. So what happened is that eventually Calvin could not get sex with Jenny or James or anyone from our school because he's not one of us. He's an outsider. He's not our friend. He's a fake fucking friend who made sure no one at our school really had friends anyways, right? Because he gets to have friends and no one else get to have friends. And then Mexican people say, Dungve. And they think like that, right? Earthlings just think like that. Kimono. Kimono. Okay? All alone in this world. Only he gonna have friends, not you. So anyways, all for myself, not you. Monopoly. Okay? So anyways, Calvin is one of those guys that just keep talking about sex all fucking day. He kept trying to hang out. He kept trying to hang out with us, with like, he kept trying to hang out with the Hollywood kids. He kept trying to hang out with the celebrities. He kept trying to hang out with American kids at school. Does that make sense? The American family, right? He kept trying to hang out with us and talk about how much he loved fucking sex. But none of us ever had sex with him, but we would talk about it. Just to expose the secret, right? To people that want to be saved, right? So Calvin kept talking about sex, 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 sex. And eventually he gave birth to a bunch of different fucking kids. And he got a bunch of different people pregnant. And Calvin was one of those people who secretly knew that male pregnancy is real. That men can get pregnant. So he fucking knew. And he kind of brought it up. But no one would talk about it. Americans will not admit to that truth. Because America will not take care of pregnant men in the fucking hospital. You guys are not allowed to fucking go. If you try going, you will die and go to fucking hell. You will go to fucking hell just for talking about how that's your fucking problem. Either you a woman and you children and that's it. That's the only people out here that might get fucking help. But if you're fucking skank that need a fucking man, an LSBT, then you not fucking welcome around here. You will die fucking trying to talk about how you a pregnant ass fucking man. That's a fucking fight that gonna last for all eternity. How mad you fucking make him, the white man, talking about how you fucking pregnant as a fucking man. We not about to do that shit here. Apparently. There's a fight that you never fucking knew that's gonna last for fucking ever. He not a fucking father. He not your fucking father. He not your fucking father. He is not your fucking father. So don't come to him talking about how you a pregnant ass fucking man. He will fucking kill you for that shit. If he don't want to be a fucking daddy, and she don't want to be an AM fucking G, he don't want to be your rich white daddy. Cloud Strife does not want to be your rich white daddy. And Jumi Bear does not want to be your Asian mommy girl. So you want to come out here talking about how you're a pregnant fucking man, that shit will get you fucking killed. And that will be the fight of your fucking life. That's how much he don't want to be your fucking father. He don't want to be your rich white daddy, and he don't want her to be your Asian mommy girl. You will fight on that shit for sure. That's going to be one of the hardest fights of your fucking life. Trying to fight God the fucking Father and shit like that. So anyways, eventually Calvin gives birth to a bunch of fucking babies. And Jenny and James and Jenny were hanging out without me. Not really, but they kind of were. But they kind of were because Calvin was around. And I would have always been invited had it not been for Calvin, who was trying to exclude the celebrity to ruin her life before she became famous. So Jenny and James try to bring me out to hang out. And then they say, Dungve. And then they turn on their car light just to say that's the correct response. So a bunch of Mexicans are saying that's the correct response to celebrityhood, is to camp outside their fucking house, a celebrity fucking house, and to kill them before they become famous. And that's what Mexican people were trying to do the whole time in this whole entire unofficial popularity contest. And that's what Mexican men do as drag queens. They just do shit like that. So what's happening is that Jenny and James and Jenny and a bunch of my other school friends try to take me out to like a sushi restaurant to get milk tea, to get ice cream, just to hang out like real friends. But Calvin told him, you know how much I don't like that. Now you know how much I don't like Cho. So don't take her out, take me out. Invite me out, but don't take Cho out. So what's happening is that we had to go back in time, and I had to get uninvited to a bunch of different events that my heavenly friends tried to take me out on. And Calvin wanted to go. So what happened is that James eventually said to Calvin, you can't come with us, bro. You don't take care of your kids. Because at this point, he had kids. He had kids. And Calvin, how did he respond? Sorry, I'm asking the gods. He's crying really hard right now. Because he got exposed for doing that to Lil Tay. And Linda Track. It was him the whole fucking time. I posted his pictures on Facebook already. Calvin was super bitchy to Linda. And he's trying to muffle my voice with magic through soul selling and shit like that, and sacrificing his kids and shit like that. Because he's a man-child that wants to be taken care of, but he don't want to take care of his kids. Calvin was super disgusting about having me uninvited every fucking day. So Calvin just started crying. So James and Jenny told Calvin, you can't come with us, bro. You don't take care of your kids. Right? And so Calvin just started crying. And he's saying, you don't know how hard it is to be me as a fucking dad. You don't know how hard it is to be me, like someone who loves sex but don't want to take care of their kids. Like, I never wanted to have kids. Like, I just want to have sex and I just want to have fun, but I don't want to have kids. When he was lying the whole fucking time because he wanted to have kids, because he wanted to sex traffic a new puppet and a new clone, right? But he did not want to take care of it because he's irresponsible and he don't want to work, or he cannot get a job in America because he is an illegal immigrant, right? So that's what he said. So he pretty much said all of that. You don't know how hard it is to be me as someone who loves sex but never wanted kids. And then that was it, right? That's pretty much what Calvin said. And they said, just take care of your kids, man. If you love sex and if you wanted a kid, then just take care of your fucking kid. So yeah, I remember now because Jenny Lou was talking about how Calvin wanted to have kids. I remember now. Because Jenny Lou kept saying, yeah, so Calvin's talking about how he wanted to have kids because he thinks that the family life would be really fucking cute. Shit like that, right? Man, that shit fucking sucks. So Jenny was saying that. Jenny Lou. And so Jenny and James told Calvin, dude, just take care of your kids, man. If you have sex, then be responsible and take care of your kids. And he just would not do it because he's just a party animal. So what happened is that Jenny and James don't go out often. Okay, so one of the craziest things is like just to see everyone at my school graduate, and then just to have their Facebook page just pretty much, just their social media just pretty much lights out. Nothing. Nothing. It was nothing. You want to know why? It's because Jenny and James would just go back to heaven. They would just go back to heaven, and then they would just watch over the earth. They don't actually live on earth. Jenny and James don't actually live on earth. They just have a house to invite Cho over as an undercover cop just to hang out as a muggle who does not understand the story between heaven and hell and earth that well. But this is just a secret service for Earthlings before the final years of the separation between good and evil. At the very least, Jenny had a house for me to hang out with, made by the Heavenly Kingdom. But James does not even have a house out here at all. Like, he doesn't. James does not really have a house out here. Wait, maybe he does, but whatever. So James and Jenny don't live on Earth, so they don't hang out. Like, James and Jenny just never post pictures on Facebook or social media because they don't go out often. They don't. They do not. They're just pretty much having like business meetings with Cho just to teach Cho her way around the earth to do business and how Earthlings think. Kind of like just to teach Cho around the city. Kind of like a business meeting, but as friends. Kind of like that, right? And then that's it. Just a business meeting between the Earthlings. I mean, with the Muggle Cho and the Heavenly Kingdom, and that's it. Right? Just to have Jenny try to teach Cho how to laugh like Honey Senpai again after being dragged by Earthlings, you know, like never learning how to laugh, but learning how to laugh through Jenny, right? That type of thing. Like Honey Senpai teaching another Honey Senpai how to be Honey Senpai again is pretty much what Jenny and Cho relationship is like. Jenny and Cho relationship is like. And also Vun and Minxie and Cho. It's kind of like that. And Linda too. Linda's kind of like that too. So anyways, they're changing my voice, dude. So anyways, Calvin kept thinking, oh, well, you know, just take me out. Just take me out. I want to go out. I want to hang out. And then Jenny and James would say, just go hang out with your kids, man. You wanted a kid. You want a kid to grow up and to have that beautiful life you wanted, so go and take him out. Yeah, but want you guys to hang out with us as my friend. No, we're Cho's friend. No, you're my friend too. No, we're Cho's friend. But what he did not understand is that James To, big deal, because James To's name is Silent Devil. Silent Devil. So James To's name is Silent Devil. And James was one of the nicest guys I ever knew. James To. Really nice. But he kept making jokes about the devil all the time. And it was actually funny every single time. James To's devil jokes were funny every single time. Like, do you guys know how you go to Satan's page on Twitter and he makes a bunch of funny ass jokes on fucking Twitter? You know what I'm talking about? It's funny, right? But James To was fucking funnier. And he would go, I'm the Silent Devil. I'm the Silent Devil. And he would just always do that. He would just always do that. And his anime character was a Grim Reaper too. He was like, Cho, can you draw my anime character for me? Yeah, sure, I'll draw an anime character for you. And then he gave it to me. And then his username, his instant messenger name was Silent Devil. And then the Silent Devil was like, hey, Cho, can you draw my anime character for me? Yeah, sure, send me a picture. And it was like, his anime character was a Grim Reaper, dude. But that guy was really nice and he was really funny. Okay? So anyways, so Jenny and James were from the Kingdom of Heaven, And they don't hang out on Earth too much because they don't want to hang out on Earth too much because people get really jealous of people who party a lot on Earth. You know, a lot of parties get canceled a lot on Earth. So the kingdom of heaven don't throw parties at all. No one ever threw a party. Dylan never threw a party. You know, none of my popular friends ever threw a party. Cece Frey, she does not throw parties. Belle Delphine does not throw parties. Dylan does not throw parties. Britney Spears does not throw parties. Hilary Duff might throw parties, but it's actually just AI CGI. It's not a real fucking party. Jesse Pacini not throwing parties. Although Alessia wants that shit, she's not doing it. No one's throwing parties. No one's doing it. No one's doing it. And if it is, it's probably, especially from Hollywood, it's probably just AI CGI. Okay? So anyways, so Calvin was trying to hang out with Jenny and James behind my back. He was trying to cheat on me with my best friends, but they would not do it. So they said, Calvin, just take care of your kids because you want that life. You wanted to have a kid. Then go ahead and do it. But I don't want a kid. And I'm not talking about sex. I don't want to talk about sex. But you love sex, and that's the consequence. And you want to have babies because you want a brand new you. You wanted a new clone. You wanted a new puppet. So just go and take care of your kids, man. And sometimes those kids are his and sometimes they're not. But he kept talking about sex in our community, at our school. And eventually he's the only kid at our school that give birth, that had sex and gave birth to babies, because Americans don't really do that. We have birth control for a reason, and it's called birth control. It's an English word. It means you don't have to have a baby if you don't want. In fact, we don't want you to have a baby. And that's just simply it. The reason why they don't talk about raising a baby at school is because American schools don't want you to have a fucking baby. And that's the truth the whole fucking time. You were never supposed to have a baby. That's why they don't teach about that shit. And the only thing they give you is condoms and birth control. And that's it. And you just gotta use it. Use condoms and use birth control and choose not to have a baby, and that's it. That's the smart choice. So, but Calvin decided he wanted to have a baby, but he chose not to take care of it. Because that shit's haunted. It's fucking evil. That thing was born from blood, dude. You don't want that shit. And so what's happening is that Calvin put Jenny and James in a hostage situation where he demanded to hang out because he wanted to have a fucking party. You celebrities can just go sit in a fucking parking lot and wait until I have a party. Until I have a fucking party. It's not your fucking birthday. Clean that shit up right now. You're not allowed to have a fucking party unless it's my fucking party. And then you're allowed to fucking hang out. But only if I fucking invite you. Does that make sense? Only I get to have a fucking party and you don't. And if you're lucky enough to get invited by me, then fine. But other than that, if you're not my fucking friend, you're not allowed to have a fucking party or a fucking cake. And that's just how a lot of them think out here on Earth. So, but Americans are selling you, it could have been free. It could have been free. It could have been a 3D printer. You could have had, and we've seen this in the 90s, you could have had a fucking computer And you could have had a fucking 3D printer. And you could have just said, oh, that's a pretty birthday cake. And then you could have just printed it out on a fucking machine. And that's a free birthday cake from you from fucking God. You could have just been magically born one day and you could have just had that fucking birthday cake. But AMG boy told you to shut the fuck up. And you can't have that shit. AMG boy thinks you're fucking dirty ass fucking shit. And you can't have that shit. Okay? So no one on earth is going to let you have that shit. No one. Everybody think like that out here. Everybody like-minded out here. Okay? So Calvin demanded that he wanted a party and he wanted to hang out with Jenny and James without Cho around. But Jenny and James don't throw parties. They don't even have birthday parties. I've never been invited to their birthday party, even though I'm their best friend. I'm their best friend. It never happened. Dylan also never did it. Cece never did it. Belle Delphine never did it. I've never seen Belle Delphine say, hey, here's my birthday cake. Never did it. Cece Frey also doesn't do it. I might post pictures of birthday cakes and go, oh, I want that birthday cake, but only as like a dream board. I don't actually want it out here. The truth is I never really wanted it out here ever. It's so fucking ugly. Maybe if I go back to anime world, okay, fine, I'll eat the birthday cake with the Disney princess in the kingdom of heaven, but I don't really want it out here. I'm just posting those pictures for you guys to see and go, oh, hey, that's a birthday cake. Maybe I might be able to get more if I allow God to save me, if I choose to be his friend, and that's it. But Calvin was very selfish and he was very greedy. And he wanted a party. He wanted to hang out with a celebrity's best friends without the celebrity around because he hated that celebrity for being more popular than him in the first place as a popularity contest rival. So Calvin put Jenny and James in a hostage situation. So they had to go out and they had to hang out. And this place... And so Calvin and James and Jenny took Calvin to a very low quality place. And the reason why Jenny and James took Calvin to a very low quality place is because because Calvin betrayed Jenny and James with this place. And the reason why Calvin betrayed Jenny and James heavily, the reason why is because Jenny Track lives on Mount Royal Avenue, okay, with Linda Track. And Dark Pastel hangs out with Linda Track and Jenny Track on Mount Royal Avenue. And there's a bus stop. There's a bus stop in front of Jenny and Linda's house. There's a bus stop in front of Jenny and Linda's house. And this bus stop was supposed to go to the shopping mall for fun. It was supposed to go to the shopping mall, and it was supposed to take you to the grocery store, and it was supposed to take you to a cute, fun place. But Calvin sold his soul to the devil to take the bus stop to a place called Old Town. And Old Town is a type of place that's kind of like a historical place. A his story place where, they came from nothing and then they built the world into something through evolution, through collective activism, and through learning from right and wrong, and eventually learning, and then eventually from being cavemen and then evolving into advanced civilization, the cowboy era. So it's kind of like a cowboy era type of place, like a bunch of cowboys who eventually became an astronaut type of thing, right? It's not realistic for Earthlings to think like that. And let me ask the gods. And the reason why Calvin did that is because he tried to invite tourism, because he believed in that sort of evolutionary lifestyle to eventually become popular and to become a god. So Calvin sold his soul to the devil to reroute the bus from Cho's favorite shopping mall to Old Town, because he wanted to promote tourism from Old Town, like a bunch of museums, like the Space Museum, the Cowboy Museum, like the Indian Museum, like that. Like you probably like stuff like that, like a Holocaustic museum, like stuff like that. It was like a museum. He wanted the museum people, like the tech nerds, the cowboy nerds, historical nerds, history nerds, evolutionary nerds. He wanted to invite those people to the bus to ride to Jenny and Linda's house to Mount Royal Avenue, because he thinks that those people are better than the American shopping malls. And so Jenny and James took Calvin to Old Town, because he is the reason why we have to go back into history where people are fucking poor and then eventually evolutionize into a greater society. And Calvin and Jenny and James, so Calvin wanted to hang out, and so Jenny and James took Calvin to Old Town with all the museums. And go ahead, talking to God. But Calvin wanted to go to the shopping mall, and he wanted to buy himself new clothes. He wanted to eat designer food. He wanted like a high-class modern-day party, as well as all of the Old Town stuff, the historical stuff. But James and Jenny decided to take Calvin to Old Town first, because James and Jenny hate Calvin for rerouting the bus stop to go to Old Town, to go back in history and go to these museums, when they never wanted that at all. They just wanted the bus to go to a shopping mall, to another shopping mall, and that was it. But he wanted to be one of those like evolutionary gods, evolutionary society people, and that was it. So Calvin was disappointed because he wanted to go to the shopping mall, but because he took that away from Jenny, and he took that away from Linda, and he took that away from James, and he took that away from Cho, that they decided not to take Calvin to the shopping mall. So they took him to Old Town, and what happened is that when they got to Old Town, all of a sudden, he saw his baby mama and he saw his son at Old Town. And the reason why is because Jenny and James actually invited the girl that he had sex with and got pregnant, and they invited their son there to go to Old Town. And James and Jenny even brought them gifts. What gifts did they bring? Candy? Gift cards to restaurants to eat, because Calvin wanted to eat at a restaurant. And they got him gift cards for clothing too, and gas gift cards, because Jenny was actually fucking rich and Calvin fucking knew, but he kept that a secret from me, so Jenny won't spend money on me, right? Yeah, Jenny was fucking rich, dude. And she kept saying, Cho, I can't, because like my family's fucking poor. And she kept saying that. I was like, Jenny, how can your family be poor? Well, I guess I can see if someone else is poor, even with a nice car, but whatever, right? So Calvin kept forcing Jenny to lie to Cho about how Jenny is poor, so that Calvin can try to steal the money that Jenny was going to spend on Cho as the best friend from the Heavenly Kingdom and reroute it to him. So Jenny and James instead the silent devil instead decided to buy gift cards for his baby mama and for his son to go shopping. So Calvin did not expect that at all, because Calvin would not hang out with this fucking kid, and he would not hang out with his fucking mom. And that kid was not his fucking clone. It was somebody else. So he especially did not want to bring that kid around. And if that kid was fucking ugly, he probably won't bring him around celebrity area, Hollywood area. You know what I'm talking about? So Jenny and James, how much money? How much money? They sold their souls to the devil to fucking fuck over my voice, dude. Hey, it's Timmy Turner. So funny. He's my next collab. $500? $100 for clothing, $100 for food, $100 for gas, and then what else? $100 for another clothing store and $100 for another restaurant. So that's $500. So Jenny and James from Mount Royal Avenue and the Silent Devil gave Calvin's baby mama and their son $500 worth of gifts, because they're just really nice. They're really nice. And so what happened is that Calvin, though, was really mad, and he was angry because he just wanted to hang out like a man-child with a bunch of kids that he grew up at school with, is what he was trying to do. And so what happened is that, what happened at this point? And Calvin secretly knew that Jenny and James invited the mother of his child and his son, because who drove? Because James drove the car and he parked right next to the mother of his child's car. The mother of his child's car and his son. Sorry, I just grew up with a bunch of street kids, you know. We call them baby mama. Baby mama. We always call them baby mama, baby daddy. Oh my God. But Americans were calling it mother of their child. But I was told, oh, the reason why they're called baby mama and baby daddy is because they're giving birth to kids, having sex, and they're giving birth to kids as babies. So that kid is actually a baby who's a mom, and that person is actually a baby as a dad. And in multi-dimensionalism, like, there's a bunch of different versions of that story, and I'm sure you can think of all of them. You know what I'm talking about? Like, didn't want that life, had it anyways, kind of wanted that life, had it anyways. You know what I'm talking about? Well, anyways, because James parked next to the mother of his child's car, and what happened? Calvin was pissed. Because he did not want anyone to know that he had kids. But James and Jenny told Calvin that they knew because they're mind readers, and everyone fucking knew because everyone could read minds, right? Everyone could read minds. So they knew. And they're saying that they're doing him a big favor, Calvin a big favor, because he wanted a fucking kid. So go ahead and just take care of your fucking kid, dude. You can't just have kids and then just not give a fuck about them. That's so evil. That's like so rude. So they were just trying to teach him to take care of your kids at the very fucking least. Like, even if that's not your fucking puppet, Even if that's not your fucking clone with your mind reading powers and that's someone else's fucking puppet. That's someone else's fucking clone. That's someone else's fucking soul in your son's fucking body. Like, you should definitely still take care of your kid. But Calvin would not do it. And then some Mexican guy or some Asian guy, some Chinese guy saying that's fucked up. You should never do that to a guy. It's that guy in the Lil Tay video. That guy in the Lil Tay video. So it's like the invite me if you come. And then she was like opening the fridge. And she was like eating cake. Lil Tay's funny. And then at the very end of the video, there's some guy who's like, is that guy. He's like, fuck. You should never do that to a guy. And he said, I sold my soul to the devil to do that to your voice. Did you ever get invited to a fucking party, dude? Plenty. A lot of them sucked. Yeah, no one wants you around, dude. How many people called the police on him for trying to have sex in that fucking song? Everyone? Everyone? Yeah, see? Get the fuck out of here, dude. And so what happened is that the moral of the story here is that the life of a rapist fucking sucks. Because, oh, I see you bragging about, oh, I'm a rapist, I'm like a rapist, I like sex, oh, I love sex, you know, I just want to talk about sex all the fucking time, sex this, sex that, I want a baby, but at the same time, somewhere in there, there's a consequence where everyone's gonna know that you don't want that baby. You still want to fucking party, you still want to seem fucking cool. But no one thinks you're cool anymore because you have a baby you don't fucking want. You have a baby you don't fucking want. And that's kind of, that's the situation here. So, you know, the life of a rapist fucking sucks because, first of all, sex for earthlings just does not feel good. It does not feel good. On top of which, you have to have, you probably most of the time will get fucking pregnant from having sex. And if you have a baby, then that baby is the fucking baby. From a heavenly perspective, if you have a baby, that baby is the baby and you're the daddy now. You're not the baby. You as a dad, you can't be the fucking kid anymore. You're the fucking dad. You're old now. If you have a baby, you're old now. You're the adult now. And that's kind of the fucking truth. Especially if you chose that life, you're old now. You're old now. You're a dad. You're a fucking dad, dude. You're not a fucking kid no more. You're a fucking dad. So act like one. That's kind of what it is. It's like, if you have a kid, if you have a son, you're fucking old. You're hella fucking old. You're not a kid no more, dude. And you're probably a fucking rapist, too. I am not your father. And I am not your fucking friend. I don't hang out with a bunch of fucking daddies. That's what Cloud Strife says. I don't hang out with a bunch of daddies. I am not your fucking father. Friend zone. Oh, friend zone. That's insulting. It's like insulting. If you don't want a fucking friend, then you can have a fucking enemy. So anyways, yeah, and yeah, so Cloud Strife is so fucking cool, dude. I fucking love Cloud Strife. Like, how do you not love Cloud Strife? Like, you'd have to be fucking evil to not like Cloud Strife. Like, like that guy is so cool. He's insanely fucking cool. Like, Cloud will just say the coolest things. Like, he would snitch in the coolest fucking way, dude. He would just snitch on people in the most dank but cool fucking way. Like, I just fucking love Cloud. Like, like by the end of the day, like he's always gonna be right. He's always gonna be right. Cause he's a nice guy. Kind of mean sometimes. He can be so mean sometimes, but it's like Cloud style mean is like perfect. It's like perfect for me. Like Cloud Strife style mean is like so me. It's like so for me. Like I like the way he is. But for Cloud, he does not hang out with a bunch of daddies. He really don't. He just got friends and that's it. He just have friends. He just friends on the weekend. It's always the power of friendship. The power, like Cloud Strife is always the power of friendship type of guy. Defeats all fucking evil, right? Heart of the cards. Power. He was saying like the heart of the cards is like not as powerful as the power of friendship and Yugi. And all anime is always like that. The power of friendship. You know? You have a friend out there. God. Who's offering you a lot more than you think for a simple set of rules. A simple set of rules, as long as you choose to be a good person and to turn away from evil, then he can be a really good friend for you. But Cloud Strife as a person just does not like daddies. And he does not like mommies too much. He's not a mommy and daddy and son and daughter type of person. Like he's really not. He's really not. They sold their souls to the devil to disrespect the fucking daughter, dude. Yeah, my voice is like super fucking muffled right now. It's really hard for me to talk. Someone's like muffling my voice right now. But mommy, daddy, like son and daughter life is kind of like a rapist type of lifestyle, dude. It's super fucking rapey. Apparently, that's what I heard. Like it's like this is like a very type of rapist type of life. And it just fucking sucks because I came from boyfriend girlfriend world, right? So Dylan is not really my brother. He's my boyfriend. And Zhao Yun, okay, so a lot of people might think that guy is like my brother, right? And he might sometimes kind of call me that, but actually Zhao Yun is my boyfriend. He's not my brother. He's my boyfriend. So he is my perfect boyfriend made for me. So he is like the boy version of me, but is actually my boyfriend and not my brother. I know it's like kind of weird for Earthlings to like understand that kind of way, but he was created to be my boyfriend and not my brother. And Dylan was created to be my boyfriend and not my brother. And Linda was created to be Dark Pastel's wife and not sister. Stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just saying that like, just hanging out, just relaxing and just chilling at home is fun. It's really fun, just to play video games, watch anime. Watching anime is fun if you can find the right anime. Watch anime like Gintama. So Gintama is really popular these days. Gintama is really popular these days. And what else? Draw your own anime characters, gossip a little. Pick up on a new personality trend. Like what's the newest, like the current day personality is dank memes. So right now we're in the era of dank memes in anime. So we can do that. Um are people still in the Victorian era? European Victorian era of anime? A lot of them. Yeah, so some people are in like this whole entire like European like Victorian era type anime people whatever, but we're in the dank memes era in America. So my voice is being muffled right now, guys. Anyways, I'm going to end a video pretty soon, but like I just want to say that like the life of a rapist fucking sucks, dude. Like that's who he wanted to be. And that's all he's ever going to have is like the life of a rapist because he is not a god and he does not know how to produce or make things on his own. He could not produce his own trees. He could not produce his own land. He did not know how to produce his own planet or his own galaxy because he's not a god. And he never was. So all he was is like the only thing he could ever do is create himself with a rapist personality set and live on somebody else's land just to be a fucking parasite. And then that guy said, Dumve, cho mutze. Like that, right? So that guy just said that. I don't know who he is. Some Chinese guy? Some Asian guy? So, and that's all they're ever gonna have. Is a rapist type of life and a baby they don't fucking want. And ultimately that's all they're ever gonna have is they're just gonna walk on somebody else's land and look at somebody else's house talking about how they don't have a job and want some fucking money to buy products from heaven by the American gods, made by the American gods, by heaven. But in the end, God never gave it to them because there's a bunch of Japanese people in Japan that cannot see anime because anime characters are actually white American magical beings that use magic to create an illusory world, an illusionary world where they are never allowed to see anime. And they just live in Japan as the rape of Nanjingers. Rape of Nanjingists. And so in the end, they can only see other rapists. And on the streets, in like a shadow realm on the streets, children from other people that never wanted that fucking kid, like unwanted children on the fucking streets. Just skank ass men talking about how they love sex more than anything all fucking day. Like, life on Earth, even with Kingdom Hearts around, even with like Final Fantasy VII around, they've never seen it and they've never heard it before because the magical anime characters use magic to block them from seeing anime ever. And so even though there's a lot of people on Earth who walk around like major developed cities that are like crazy about anime, they can't fucking see it. You know how do you see a blue dress or do you see a gold dress, right? Do you hear Yanny or do you hear Laurel? Like sometimes they can't even fucking see cosplay because we just don't want them to see anime ever. Like they just see something completely fucking different. And sometimes it's never explained, but that's all you get. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, the life of a rapist fucking sucks because they don't know what Animal Crossing looks like. They don't know what Animal Crossing houses look like. They don't know what Animal Crossing furniture looks like. They don't know what Sailor Moon looks like. They don't know what Cardcaptor Sakura looks like. They don't know what magical girls look like. They don't know what magical anime boys look like. They don't. Can you imagine like a life without anime, dude? Like that shit fucking sucks. So I'm just saying, like, you know, that guy's outside, standing outside my house, bragging about he's like a fucking rapist and shit like that, but God's gonna fucking kill him. God's gonna fucking kill him. He can't get into my fucking house. The other day, you guys remember when some guy was trying to knock on my door? He could not get in. He could have kicked that door down and broken into my house. But the reason why it did not happen was because God killed him and sent him to fucking hell. Like, that guy knocked on my door with the intention of breaking it down because I did not open it. If I open it, they were just gonna fucking grab me and throw me back in jail. Or maybe kill me on the fucking spot. If I open that door. They were gonna kick down my door no matter fucking what. They were gonna fucking do it. But the reason why they did not fucking do it is because God actually fucking killed them and sent them to fucking hell. That's always gonna fucking happen. And to close this all off, I'm just saying, like, man, your life fucking sucks. If you're a rapist, your life fucking sucks. Like, it just means I'm fucking poor and nothing in life was ever going to matter to me and nothing's ever going to be good enough. And that's just simply it. That's just what. And you're going to live the rest of your life as an unwanted man and no one's ever going to fucking want you around. You're not good enough. Okay? And and you're not going to be invited. You don't take care of your fucking kids. And okay, to close this all off, okay, just to give you guys a better understanding, like, do you guys know how videos of Gaza, of Iraq, do you guys know what I'm talking about? How, and of like the United Kingdom, where a bunch of Mexican people are just running around, like just killing people all the fucking time? Just dragging people and raping and murdering people all fucking night and day long? Okay? So Mexican people are actually just like that. Like, all of them are actually just like that. Okay? And you know how in the United Kingdom, like, Mexican people just illegally invade the United Kingdom? There's just a bunch of Mexican people saying, this is my land now. You live on stolen fucking land. And then trying to kill a bunch of European people all fucking day. Okay? And just bombing down their fucking city and then just killing people all fucking day. That's actually who they fucking are. They don't have houses. They do not live in houses. Those guys were born in the middle of the fucking desert after their mom and dad had fucking sex in the fucking wild. Those guys were born in the fucking wild. They were made in the fucking wild. They are wild fucking creatures who just run around eating each other in the wild all fucking day. They just kill each other and then they just eat each other all fucking day like a wild fucking animal. That's all they fucking do. You ever watch Animal Planet and all they do is just like run around and chase each other and then kill each other and eat each other all fucking day? Okay, so God's animals don't fucking do shit like that. They don't. They're pets. They're fashion accessories. A cow is a fashion accessory. A dog and a cat is a fashion accessory that God made. It's a little My Melody. It's a little Hello Kitty. Okay, it's a fucking pet. It's a fashion accessory. The truth is that it's actually made. Animal Planet, those like whole entire like National Geographic channel was made to show you how Chinese people and Mexican people actually fucking are. It's censored to hide the fact that Chinese people and Mexican people and maybe even Japanese people are actually fucking like that. And European people are actually fucking like that. It's just a bunch of random people that just have sex with each other in the fucking wild. In the middle of fucking nowhere. And then they just give birth to each other. And then they just start killing each other. And then eating each other in broad fucking daylight. The Karen. She is ready to pounce on a white American man. How much is he going to tip? 10%? 50%? 100%? Enough to make a Karen snarky. You know what I'm talking about? The National Geographic, like, Animal Planet type of, like, narration? That's them. That's who they are. So, anyways, and what's happening is that those guys, those people, immigrated. They left the wild to live on God's land and to occupy his houses. So his European houses were taken by those people. Those people who used to live in the wild. And God was nice enough to give it to them because God is powerful and he is limitless and he can make as many houses as he wants. So the houses that you guys live in now are a gift from God to shelter you away from the crazy ass wild evil world. Okay? He doesn't need those houses. You guys can have them. You guys can have those houses as a gift. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say he didn't need those houses, but you guys can have it over there because God gave you guys those houses over there. Not on his land, but over there. Okay? So what's happening is that I'm just letting you guys know, like, so Mexican people, you know how Mexican people just run around killing each other in like Gaza, Iraq? You know what I'm talking about, just running everywhere. And do you guys see how in America there's a bunch of random ass videos of ICE agents, Mexican people pretending to be police, and then Mexican people pretending to be ICE, right? And all they do is just run around on the fucking streets, breaking into people's houses and then just killing them, and then going out to protest again just to hunt other people down. That's all they fucking do as rapists. And then they just rape people all day. That's just all they fucking do. They're wild fucking creatures from an evil ass fucking jungle. Desert. From an evil ass fucking desert. They don't even have their own land because they can't create it. And then some random guy said, no. Because he's proud of stealing someone else's fucking land. Well, we created hell too, so you can go there. So anyways, that land is crazy. A lot of rapists there. A lot. More than here. So what's happening is that, You guys have to start looking at Mexican people and maybe even some random white people, like dwarf white people, like gnomish white people. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I mean, not white people, but European people, like, but especially and Chinese people that look like Jackie Chan, and maybe even Jun Takeda, like but let's just say Mexican people and like Mongolian people, because this is going to make a bit more sense for you guys to see it. Okay. But those people too. But Mexican people and Mongolian people. So look at that person. So that person is a wild animal. A wild animal who's a human being. Who just kill and eat people and everything that move all fucking day, and that's it. And that thing belongs in the fucking wild. And they do not deserve to have a house because they never built a house. They never created one, and they still do not know how to build and make a house. And they are incapable of doing such things. Of doing such things. A house need magic to stay up. It have to have a gravitational energy force to keep a house up. So this house, this whole entire house, it need the forces of gravity and energy to keep it up. You can't just fucking put a hammer and a nail and then just hope it'll stay up. There has to be a strong man, a real strong man to help keep this house up and together, no matter fucking what. And if you don't have that fucking power, then the power of the wind and gravity is just gonna knock your house down. A house is just a house of cards. Any house is just a house of fucking cards, no matter fucking what. You have to have God help you keep your house up with magic. Otherwise, it's just going to get knocked down no matter fucking what. Okay? So those guys, like Mexican and Mongolian people, they belong in the fucking wild. It's just a fucking wild animal that lived in the middle of nowhere and then for some reason all of a sudden can read minds. And then just immigrated to God's land to occupy their houses because all of a sudden they're realizing, that through mind reading that they somehow got through maybe a demon gave them the power to read minds somehow, right? So just to annoy God, and so they came over here because they found out that houses exist and that you can live houses, and now they're gonna live as skanks and kick everyone out of their houses so that they can live in a house and only they get to and not you. So get used to the idea that Mexican men do not live in houses. They don't. And if you see it, they either probably try to kick someone out, but most likely is an AI CGI video to make people think that they have houses when they really don't. Those guys are wild fucking animals that just pretend to be police officers and ICE agents all fucking day. And then they just drag people out of their fucking house all fucking night and day. Out of their fucking car and then just kill people. There are protests everywhere right now. Watch and learn. Listen carefully. They don't belong in civilized society. They're just fucking rapists. And they're just fucking murderers. Just send them to fucking hell. That's all they fucking need. All they need is raw duck. That's what they said to me in jail. You're not the one I want. Then what do you want? Raw duck. All I need is to rape people, and that's all I fucking want. I'm just a fucking rapist. And that's what Ubaldo Zeppold said. He said to me, you're not the one I want. Then what do you want? Raw duck. I'm just a fucking rapist. I want to rape you. And then that's it. And he just want to rape Dylan and fucking leave. And that's it. That's all they fucking need. He said, all I need is to be a fucking rapist in life. And that's it. They're rapists. They're murderers. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. That's all they fucking want. They're devil worshippers. They're trying to drag everyone to hell. That's all they fucking need. If they're trying to drag everyone to fucking hell, and then they're running around town trying to kill each other all fucking day, and then eat each other and rape each other all fucking day, What I really mean is that they don't belong in the fucking house. They belong on the fucking streets, protesting against anything. A kid having Mickey Mouse on a fucking cake? Suing him, protesting him on the fucking streets and shit like that? He really don't live in a fucking house. He's just a wild fucking animal that's just gonna go to fucking hell and do it all over again. He's just gonna go to fucking hell and drag someone out of their fucking jail cage and then just fucking rape him and kill him, and that's it. That's all they're gonna fucking do. And then they're gonna run around trying to kill people all fucking day, and then that's it. That's all they are. That's all they fucking do. There's always gonna be a fucking protest, and someone's gonna get fucking hit. Someone's gonna fucking die again. And that's all they wanted. And they're gonna fucking lie to you. They're gonna fucking lie to you all fucking day. I'm not a fucking nurse. I'm just a fucking social worker. Then why are you wearing a nurse's fucking uniform? Because I'm not a fucking nurse. Officer, I'm not a police officer. I'm a correctional officer. It's not the same thing. Then why does correctional officer have the word officer in it? Well, I'm still not a fucking officer. I'm a good person when they're actually fucking evil. They're gonna tell you they're a good person when deep down inside that bitch is hella fucking evil. Hella fucking evil. He's gonna lie to you all fucking day. That guy's gonna run out to the fucking street. That Mexican man's gonna run out to the fucking street and risk breaking his fucking leg. He hella fucking knew there's a chance his leg is gonna be fucking broken if he goes to that fucking protest. He knew he was gonna get beheaded, but he went there as a Mexican man to protest anyways. He did that shit. And the reason why he did that is because he wanted to kill you. He needed to live. He needed to live, and he wanted to go out there, and he wanted to kill you the fucking most. Knowing full well, that guy, his leg is gonna be broken. Someone's gonna accidentally break his fucking leg, or maybe even on purpose, and he's still gonna crawl down the street with a broken ass fucking leg just to kill you. And that's all they ever did in Gaza. That's all they ever did in Pakistan, in Iraq, and that's all they ever do in America when they fucking protest. And that's all they ever do in fucking Europe and Japan. And all around the world where they get to fucking go and they protest. Okay? So the next time you see a Mexican guy, just realize that he deserved to be fucking homeless. And he was born homeless, and he's gonna live the rest of his life fucking homeless. Living in a fucking tent that some demon fucking gave him, that's pretending to be a fucking house. Pretending to be a fucking tent. That's just fucking creepy, dude. No one ever talk about that. No one ever really explain it, but sometimes a demon pretend to be a fucking house. Pretend to be a fucking tent. Pretend to be a fucking clothing. But sometimes you can fucking see it if you figure out that's what it is. But I just had a Mexican guy outside my house telling me that he's a fucking rapist. And I know God's not going to let him into my fucking house anymore. And he's just letting you guys know that shit like that fucking happen. And the world is ending fucking soon. And you only have 2 paths to choose from. But anyways, guys, you guys need to get into the habit of thinking, like, every single time you see a Mexican guy, just think, oh my god, that guy is homeless the whole fucking time. He never had a fucking house. He's a wild ass fucking animal. He's a wild ass fucking animal that's gonna kill and eat everything that he see and fucking move. Just fucking tear people's shit apart all fucking night and day long as a human fucking being. And that's all Mexican people and Mongolian are. What am I putting in my mouth? You killed him. Thankfully, I did. And that's all they fucking do. Back in China, they eat bats, snakes, pigs, cows. They eat all of that. Human beings, babies. That's all they fucking are. They're a fucking wild animal in the form of a human being that's just gonna eat, rape, and murder everything they see and fucking move all fucking night and day long. And think about what they just put in their fucking mouth. And that's the most important part of all of their lives is what they put in their fucking mouth. That's the most important fucking part. And then some Mexican guy was like, no. And he just fucking said that shit. The most important part is what the fuck did he just put in his fucking mouth? Well, anyways, guys, it was about 3 hours and 30 minutes. 3 hours and 30 minutes. 3 o'clock at 3:39 in the afternoon. So I'm gonna hang up the phone. They came out to my house to protest against me still talking about that anime, Fox Lover Refresher. So I just had to make this video because they were protesting me and they were trying to pirate the anime community and they were trying to cancel me over that. But they've never seen the anime before. All they heard was, wow, that guy is so beautiful. He's so handsome. I want to marry him. For them to come to my house to try to eat him. Try to eat him, try to rape him, and try to traffic him so that they can just steal his fucking identity over a popularity contest. But by the end of the day, he's just a wild fucking animal. And so just thankfully, he's just a wild fucking animal who was never given a fucking house. And thankfully, he's a fucking homeless ass fucking rapist. And that's it. Alright, bye guys.